All right, and let me just go live on IG. Give me 1 second. All right. What's up, everybody? We here.
Yeah.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another show out of the Kava podcast After Dark session, live out of San Francisco on this beautiful night. As you guys can see, we have some beautiful ladies here from the Bay Area, and we have another great hot topic to discuss this weekend. As always, to everybody that always watches the entire show, if you see value in the content, the best way to support the channel is to smash that like and subscribe button real quick. Okay. And hey, what's up, Tim? Good to see you already in the live chat, already commenting. Shout out to you, Tim. Good to see you. But if you see value in the content, appreciate the content, smash that like and subscribe button for the algorithm, so that way people can get to watch and see more content. Don't forget, this is a virtual show. So a lot of you guys always reach out to me asking me, I'm not from the Bay Area. I'm not from San Francisco. How do I join in virtually? So you can join in on my Wednesday, my Thursday shows during the week. It's virtual, or you can also join my Saturday night shows and talk to the live panel. But you have to become a supporting member of my locals. The link is in the description on YouTube, and you'll be able to get the link. And you can join on the last hour of this podcast between 9 p.m., 10 p.m. California time. So if you do want to join on, we have a great panel. We have a great discussion. We have a great topic. And if you do want to join in, become a supporting member. Shout out to everybody who is a member of my locals. Thank you for your financial support and being part of the local community page for my podcast. Thank you so much. But let's get that live chat popping. Tim, Jerk, good to see you guys on the live chat. Let me know what you guys think. If you're tuning in from different platforms, definitely come over to YouTube where you guys can participate on the live chat. So let me know what you guys think about the topic tonight. If you want to show some love to the ladies, if you recognize somebody on here on the platform, definitely give a shout out on the live chat. And of course, for all the ninja watchers out there, I know a lot of you guys be creeping on my channel, watching the entire show, but say absolutely nothing. All right. So if you're creeping, if you're being a ninja watcher, just want to encourage you, this is a safe place. We can have open discussions, whether we agree or disagree. Definitely come out tonight and say something on the live chat. And appreciate you guys that get to tune in and watch the entire show. But that's pretty much all my YouTube stuff. And quick shout out to my sponsor, Global Financial Impact. They're a financial services company. So if you're looking for financial services, for life insurance, how to set up a college fund for your kids, how to set up and understand financial literacy, to understand to becoming financially independent for your future, reach out to Savannah and her team, Global Financial Impact, and they'll be able to help you guys out with that. And all their information is in the link below on YouTube. And so that way you can contact Savannah and her team. So shout out to Global Financial Impact. Thank you so much. But that's pretty much all my YouTube stuff. Thank you so much. We have a great show. We have a full panel tonight. We're packed. We're locked and loaded. Okay. We're going to have a great discussion. We have a great topic to discuss for everybody that's watching. Appreciate you guys. But one more time for the panel. Shout out to you guys. Okay. All right, but I'll pass it to you guys. We have some familiar faces coming back a second time on the pod, probably third, fourth time on the pod.
Probably like my fifth.
The fifth one, you're the real MVP, the real MVP of the Kava podcast. So thank you for coming back. But we also have some new faces here tonight. Excited to have them join. So if you guys don't mind, you want to give yourself a quick intro for everybody out there that's watching, and we'll get right into it. I'll start with you.
Wow. Hi. Well, hi. My name is Nadia. I am 29. Leslie, I'm Mexican and Puerto Rican. So a lot of people think that I'm not that I'm like half white. I'm like, I'm Mexican and Puerto Rican. My mom just looks very white. I am an operations manager. I'm single, and honestly, what I want for my next relationship is just a healthy, kind one. I feel like that's not a stretch to ask for in the world.
That's definitely reasonable. All right. Thank you so much, Nadia.
All right. Well, my name is Jessica. I'm 41, and I'm currently talking to someone. I am a hairstylist, and I work a lot with men. So, yeah, and I'm from Palo Alto.
Okay. And what are you looking for the next one?
And what I'm looking in a serious relationship is I honestly want to fall in love with my best friend that's able to trust me, and I'm able to be myself. because I think that's been one of my issues in relationships ever since I left my 11-year relationship. So dating is hard nowadays.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Hi, my name is Gladys. I'm Hispanic, just Hispanic though, Mexican or whatever. Job, I work at a winery. I'm a warehouse system analyst. I'm 44 years old and I'm single. But since I got out of a big old relationship and that one was a bad one, I'm just looking for something healthy. Someone kind of my same level too. I tend to date the wrong person. So I'm looking at someone for my level equal. I'm very old fashioned, so that too. So that's all I'm looking for. So.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, my name is Itaisa. I'm Tongan. I'm 26 years old. I work as a behavior therapist and I'm single. And what I'm looking for is marriage. So any applications, please be serious because I know that you're getting tossed.
All right.
But yeah, looking forward to the discussion tonight. Thank you.
All right. Are you accepting applications right now? For all the men out there watching?
Pending.
Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Salane. I'm mixed, but I'm Black. I'm 20 years old. I'm in a relationship. I am a musical artist and an artist all around. If you can see this shirt, that's one of my shirts. So yeah, my Instagram is sa.lanea.official if you want to follow my journey.
All right. Thank you so much. I love the headband, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, ladies, for the great introductions. And appreciate you guys and for making the time to be part of the discussion. We're going to have a great show tonight. Shout out to everybody on the live chat. Lord Punisher, good to see you. I do see the viewership going up on the different platforms. Definitely come out to YouTube. You watch from a different platform and you can participate on the live chat. But before we go right into it, we definitely got to get some Kava going real quick and for everybody out there. So you guys ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right.
Can I tap out of that one?
Okay. So I'll give you guys a little bit to try it out. Okay.
This is going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. All right. It's definitely better than the beer.
Thanks.
Hey, the bear got more love than the men. Damn. Yeah, that's 2024. All right. What's some more? Tyson? You good? You're good. Okay.
Just like I know.
I just
So relaxed.
Okay. You want the coconut? Okay. I'll switch. I know you want the coconut cup.
Oh, it tastes like minty tea.
Thank you.
Okay.
Know what you're talking about.
All right. So right before we drink,
oh sorry.
no, you guys are good.
No, mom.
He's like, don't drink yet.
All right. Right before we drink, all customs when it comes to drinking kava, we always raise our cups and then we just offer some words of endearment towards each other, and then we'll go ahead and drink it. So my words of endearment, we're talking about being irreplaceable and not to get replaced. Just a quote I used to think about all the time. There's a lot of things that can be replaced in our life, but one of the things that we don't want to waste is our time. Okay, especially when we talk about relationships, dating, marriage, something that's going to be good for you. So you always want to make sure that you invest your time to quality people and not waste it with people that doesn't deserve to be in a relationship with you. So that's just my words of endearment to everybody. Don't waste your time. Yeah, use it wisely and value it. Okay, I'll pass it to you, Nadia.
I guess words of endearment would be kind to yourself and others. Give yourself patience because it's not always easy. And everybody's journey is different. So you just take things one step at a time. That's it.
I think for me would be kind, be less judgmental on people because everybody has a different background. And patience is one to understand one another. Just because you have a different background doesn't mean that person has to match exactly that.
Okay.
For me is I don't like my time wasted. So I kind of have to piggyback on what you said.
Yeah.
Everybody's time is valuable. And I know for me, like I'm busy a lot. So if I'm giving you my time, I'm hoping you're respecting that time and be honest, be upfront. Like always be honest. That's my thing.
Okay. Taisa.
Yes, my words of endearment, right? I would say is just to the truth and being honest in every aspect of where he comes from in terms of relationships or whatever that is, and also to unity. I think a lot of a lot of the subjects that we're going to be talking about tonight in relationship in general, just to understand that, unification is where things begin or where things happen. And so, yes, that's my word of endearment.
All right. Thank you so much, Taisa. And Lene, go ahead.
Stick with creation and evolution, and don't let fear hold you back from doing things, even if that is just like trying a new hairstyle or something. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies. And then we just raise our cups and just repeat after me. Alpha. Atu. Alpha Atu, y'all. All right. Go ahead.
I still don't like it. I actually like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's different.
Yeah, it's definitely different. What does it taste like?
It definitely tastes very earthy.
Earthy,
I know what you're talking about.
Very
Yeah.
earthy.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
earthy.
Yep.
I feel like I'd be drinking some earthy teas. So it's like,
Yeah.
and like, but I know what you're talking about. The like nummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does know. He does
I
know.
will think.
Yep. I know. Yeah, it's like dirt water. That's the best way to describe it. Sophisticated jerk dropped a super chat. He said, "Everybody's time isn't valuable." LOL. Okay, true. Facts. All right, thank you so much, Jerk. I see knowledge of relationships. Hey, good to see you in the live chat. UK economist, good to see you in the live chat all the way from the UK watching the stream. Always a big shout out to UK economists because I know the time zone is brutal for you, but you're up right now watching the show. So thank you so much for the support. But yeah, we have a great topic to discuss. Shout out to you guys on the live stream and shout out to the panel one more time. All right, thank you so much. And we have a great show. So the topic we're going to be discussing: should men and women strive to be irreplaceable or not to get replaced? Okay, so I'm gonna play two clips. So I saw two clips. It was dating advice I saw online. There's a lot of people giving out dating advice online, but they're single.
Yeah, that's
or divorced. Interesting times today. Interesting times we live in. Everybody is a influencer and guru. Okay. But the dating advice was about being irreplaceable or not to get replaced. So I saw some. I'm gonna play the video from the women's perspective, and I'm gonna play the video from the men's perspective. It's all related to the topic, and then we're gonna come back to you guys. We get to respond, we go down as a panel, and then we can open it up for open discussion. Okay. So this is the one I saw with the ladies first. Okay. So this is the dating advice she was giving for all the women out there.
When we get into a relationship, we start nagging, like laying down the law. You are allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do this. All of that stops today. We are not going to do that because we want to be an addition to our man's life. We do not want to be an obstacle. As soon as they view you as an obstacle, you become disposable, you become replaceable. If he wants to go out with his friends, let him go. He is your partner, not your child. This is all part of being his dream girl. The more value you are adding to his life, you are not trying to drastically alter his life so much that it is completely unrecognizable from when you guys first fell in love. More and more times, we are told we are not allowed to do something. We want to do it more anyway. So the more and more times you tell him you are not allowed to go out with your friends, he's going to want to do it more. If you are not on his case about it, he's not going to be that bothered about it. Now you are an addition to his life. You are completely irreplaceable.
Okay. All right. So that was a clip. That was the clip from the from the girl perspective. Okay. All right. I'm gonna play the one from the guy. Okay. Where is he?
I love this.
There we go. Okay. So this is from the guy's perspective.
That yes, this girl may be a 9 or 10 out of 10. She is a dime piece. She is a baddie. She is exactly what you're looking for. Has all these different traits. It is what it is. You feel me? But you understand, you can find someone who's equally as good or better than this woman if you have to let her go. If she does not properly align with your life, if different things come up, if different red flags come up, if she loses interest, whatever the case may be, you have the ability to move on because once again, you have this in place. You have the abundance mentality on lock. You're not operating from scarcity. You're not thinking this is the only thing that I can get in my life. This is not the only woman I can attract in my life. No, if I need to go back out there into the field, into the trenches, I can get a high quality, attractive woman who aligns with my life, who aligns with where I'm trying to go, what I'm trying to do. She will complement my life the same way I will complement her life. We are complementary opposites. You will find that once you have the abundance mentality. But most men who have the scarcity mentality, they cling on to the first thing, the first woman that gives them any sort of attention.
All right. Okay, so yeah, that's the two clips. Interesting. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. And Dirk just dropped another super chat. Shout out to Tysa and Little Potato. Y'all need to come back and hang out with us on Thursday. Okay, shout out to you, Dirk. Thank you so much. I wonder who's Little Potato. Who is he referring to? All right, Tysa, you want to respond?
Okay, so that's a lot to unpack, but
Oh no, I was talking about the super chat.
I'm about to say,
just the jerk.
yeah, for sure. Thursday, absolutely. I thought we were starting already. I'm like, why
You're like,
got something to say? But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
You remember Jerk, right?
Yes,
Yeah, from the
yes.
Thursday one.
So he's talking about my Instagram handle, Young Papacita.
Oh yeah, that's you.
And I was just like, how do I describe it? Because I feel like when I say it, like I'm like, it's Young Papacita.
So
like,
little potato is you.
Little, yes.
Oh, okay.
Little female potato.
Oh, I was
Hi.
wondering who's he talking about.
Hi.
Okay, no worries. Thank you so much, Jerk. And I see Phil Jr. on the live chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Get the live chat popping. I see the viewership going up, but not as many people on the live chat. So I see some ninja watchers right now not saying absolutely anything. So if you recognize these guests, definitely say something, say hello, support the guests, give a shout out. But let me know what you guys think about the topic. All right. So should men and women strive to be irreplaceable or not to get replaced? That's going to be the topic. And we're going to go around the panel and you guys let me know what you guys think. So I'll start with you, Nadia. Nadia, what's your reaction to the clip? Before I ask Nadia that question and let her share her perspective, everybody on the panel, right? You guys do want a long-term, healthy,
Yes.
relationship, right?
Yeah.
What if it's marriage or something that you're looking for, or if it's something that's long-term?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody wants that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No worries. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay. All right. So everybody here on this panel is looking for a long-term, healthy, strong, committed relationship. Okay. So if that's what everybody wants, and we can all agree on this panel, that's majority of women, right? They want that same outcome.
Yeah.
There are some women exceptions, both men and women. They don't want to be with anybody. That's fine. You know, you can live your life be by yourself. But I think for most people, they want something long-term, especially when you want a family and have children and you want to spend with somebody for the rest of your life. Okay, so if that's your outcome of what you want, should we strive to become irreplaceable? So that the girl on the first clip, she talked about, become somebody that's irreplaceable for that man. So that way that man will choose you and commit to you and stay with you. All right. Or you should make sure that you don't not to get replaced. All right. So the guy on the video was saying, make sure that you have an abundant mindset. Understand that you have other options, that if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, that you can move on to the next person and replace them. Don't be afraid to, if you have to replace your partner. All right. So it's going to be an interesting conversation. What do you guys think about that? If that's the outcome you want, everybody here on this panel wants a long-term healthy relationship. Should we strive to become irreplaceable, or make sure we understand, if that person's not behaving in the way that aligns with what you're looking for in a relationship, you can replace them and move on to the next person. Okay, so I'll start with you, Nadia. Let me just switch it to you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I feel like when it comes to relationships, if somebody because there's always going to be somebody more beautiful, more intelligent, maybe more, I don't know, whatever, insert whatever you feel. There's always going to be somebody more because there's a lot of people in the world. But if you're thinking about from a relationship standpoint, if your only thought process is, I can replace this person the second that they don't behave. Let me ask you a question. When you guys, I don't know if any of you guys have animals or like a pet, right? You adopt a dog, right? And I'm not comparing dogs to women, but I'm just saying you have a pet, somebody that you love and you care about, your pet. The second that pet does something terrible, you replace him, you give him back up for adoption. In a relationship, and I mean to say it's comparable in the sense that it's a relationship that you're having with another living being. The second that somebody does something displeasurable, that's where communication comes in, right? And that's what dating is about. And if you guys find an issue with something that somebody does it doesn't work. So they don't have the same family values as you and you figure that out, right? Or maybe you find out something about their past that you can't move away from, right? Then yeah, I think it's a good idea to talk about it with them. Just be like, hey, you know what? I found out that's X, Y, and Z about you. You shared it with me. Thank you for sharing with me. But I don't think I can move past this. I don't think that we're a good match. And I think it's okay to move on. But if you're in a long-term relationship with somebody and your state of mind is at any point, I will replace you. And that's I don't want to say it's a threat, but that's your thought process. Like at any point, I can replace you if you don't do what I want. That's not what relationships are about. Relationships are about building, and anybody that's been in a relationship, you don't like that person 100% of the time. They're going to piss you off probably more times than you're going to absolutely love them, because that's just what a relationship is about. Anybody that has a close relationship with their family or friends, you guys don't get along 10,000% of the time. That's just not how it works. And anybody that thinks that a relationship is all about you guys like each other all the time, you guys never upset each other. Now, if you're talking about abusive relationships or infidelity, stuff like that, I think that it's a good thing to probably not be tolerant about. Now, the other girl, man, I'm just saying everybody's an expert now. And I am by no means an expert. I just speak from my own perspective as well as I can. I just give my opinion. But I hate this term, but I feel like it's the only term that kind of makes sense. It's like, that's some pick-me mentality. Like, oh, you have to do everything that he says because you don't want to upset him and make him go away, because you want to make him, see you as value. It's just like, baby, I don't know what to tell you. It's probably not going to work out no matter what you do. And imagine how silly you're going to feel if you do all this shit that's probably going against how you feel, only for this person to still probably not see any value in you. And that's I feel like a lot of people that have that mentality, which is, let me not do the things that feel comfortable and come to me naturally in order to hold on to something in the fear that it's going to slip out of my fingers. And if you live in a state of fear that you're going to lose your relationship, then they're probably not a good fucking partner for you. And it's probably not a good place to be in romantically. I think that that's just silly. I don't think that's what relationships are supposed to be about. Feeling in fear and lack and like, yes, are there a lot of people in the world if a relationship doesn't work out? Yeah, there's a lot of fucking people in the world. However, like you can't be out here thinking that, oh my God, I love this girl or this guy. I love them so much. They're so great. But I can replace you. If somebody told me that, I'd be like, well, replace me right now, motherfucker. Like, I'm bye. Like, if you want to replace me, then replace me now. Goodbye. It's okay. If that's the thing that you're going to keep telling me, then we're good. I see where you're coming from.
All right.
That's what I feel.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Nadia. I appreciate you. We'll keep it moving. I'll pass it to you, Jessica. Jessica, if you're looking for something long-term, healthy and strong and committed, should men and women strive to be irreplaceable or not get replaced? What do you think, Jessica?
I honestly think, since I have my longest relationship was 11 years, and I felt that I lost myself in it. So now I think that to get in a relationship, person truly has to love you for who you are as a person with all your imperfections. Because if they're trying to change you, then they need to find that person because that person ain't me. And I'm willing to accept the person for who they are, and be open to other things. But I expect that same mentality back, that same love and respect and loyalty. Um, so for me, it's for me, I need somebody to not tell me, hey, if you're not doing this, I'm getting tired that you're doing this and you're not doing things my way. I'm going to replace you. You're wasting my time, and you obviously have a lot of stuff to work on because that sounds like some insecurity, and you haven't really truly given yourself to somebody completely because you're already coming to a relationship with one foot open out of the door. So that's, you're just playing around. You're not even trying to build something because relationship is about building. It's about growing together. You are going to make mistakes, but together you guys are going to learn. Like she said, it's not going to be perfect, but the beauty of it is passing those obstacles in relationship and looking back like, remember when we used to fight with it? Now we can actually laugh about it. So to me, I feel relationship is work. And if you're not willing to put that work, then it's just not for you, and that's totally fine. But don't sit there, blame the other person why a relationship didn't work. I think a lot of people get blinded by a lot of social media's ideas of how a relationship should be. Oh, I seen this person, I agree. What do you want? What they want is different. What do you really want for your life? Everyone has a different lifestyle. Do you want something that's on social media and you'll get inspired by it? Okay, but is it really you? And a lot of people get lost in it. Social media has changed relationships a lot. It has made so many things. People go for the physical now. And people get lost on what's inside now. You know, everything is so materialistic. Everything is like, what is this? What is that? Everybody's so trying so hard to be liked and not being real anymore. So it's hard to date out there. But I want something like honest, loyal, truthful, and I just, if I'm not for that person, I'm okay to walk away. But I'm not gonna. If I love somebody and my partner wants to work through it, I will put the work. And I think that's how relationships should be.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jessica. I'll pass it to you, Gladys. What do you think, Gladys? If you're looking for something long-term, healthy, and committed, should they strive to be irreplaceable or make sure you don't want to get replaced? What do you think?
So I'm going to speak out of personal experience, just in general, just what I've been experiencing also myself right now. I think people as you're dating and experience other people, some people just make themselves irreplaceable all on their own when they're dating you. And it's not like your boundaries or anything. It's just like you start dating them and talking to them and it's perfect. You go through that honeymoon phase or whatever. But then within a week or two, they're doing weird stuff. I mean, obviously, you're not going to put up with stuff like that, right? You're just going to be like, okay, I'm not going to control anybody. I'm not going to tell them this. You need to stop this if you want to. That's not me. I'm all about going with the flow. If it flows right and we're getting to know, and before we know it, we blink and it's 6 months later, obviously, it's just been working great, right? But I don't go into it to whether I want to get replaced. I'm not going to go into it with fear and say I need to be fake and show him what he needs to see. So then, because it's not me. So I'm showing him a person that's not me just to keep him happy. No, I think it needs to be like a two-way thing. We both need to just go in without being scared, without being controlling either, and just enjoy each other's company. That's more what I strive for. Because to me, I mean, I've dated a couple guys and I notice as soon as like they don't like something or whatever, or you said something, they're just like, oh, they start doing the ghosting thing. But I'm okay with that. You could ghost me all day. You're just showing me I can move on. It's cool. I'll keep it moving. Like I'm not gonna stick or I'm not gonna be obsessing over it at all. I don't do that. To me, it's just like, okay, you're not okay, fine. You're not texting me. It's cool. Move on. I keep going, keep doing it. At the end of the day, I'm still working. I keep busy with my job. I keep busy with my kids. But I am looking for something genuine, and I still haven't seen that. So that's what I'm saying. I don't go into be replacing myself, but it seems like everybody just kind of goes into, and you kind of just fade off. But it's because it's not working out. It's not that person. That person's just not for you.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. So if they're not for me, I'm not gonna beg someone. I think it's fair to say that.
Okay.
But to me, it's just like you could tell when it's genuine, and it keeps going, right? So when it's genuine, it's something that you don't even have to like stress on it. And I've been in a relationship like that. It just flows right, and before you know it's a year. I mean, that's why I ended up like 8-9 years with my last relationship, right? But it didn't work out at the end, and we went our own separate ways. So.
Okay.
But that's my point of view on it.
All right. Thank you so much, Gladys. UK Economist, I see your light. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'll be able to respond to it right after I get Itaisa and Lene. Okay, so Itaisa, I'll pass it to you. What's if you're looking for something strong, committed long term, should we strive to be irreplaceable or make sure we don't get replaced?
I think, how do you know something is real? How do you know a relationship is real? How do you know something's going to stand the test of time? Is that it will get tested, which means you have to bring your authenticity to the relationship before anything else. So in terms of people pleasing, if you're trying to please a man just because you want him to pick you, that's not authentic. And mind you, this is something long term, right? So a relationship that has to stand that test, and mind you, it will get tested, good, bad times, you're going to have to be able to love that person through the good, the bad, and the ugly, And so the thing is not only like thinking about bringing your authenticity, but also think about, if you're just out here like trying to replace people, right? Because of abundance mindset, what does that say about a person's character? Okay, like if you're going to say that you want a committed relationship and you want a marriage, your character has to match exactly what that requires, which means what you're going to have to deal with that person. Call it tolerate or whatever, but before you get into a marriage or a relationship, you got to know exactly what you want, and what it is that you're looking for. And so that's, and in terms of irreplaceable or not, it's like, think about the character, who you want to be as a person and who you want, your spouse to be. Think about before all of that, before you even start to court people. But yeah, like no marriage is perfect, right? Mm-hmm. So be as authentic as you can be, right? We all got issues that we need to work through. So yeah.
All right, no worries. Thank you so much. All right, thank you, Itaisa, and I'll pass it to you, Lene. What do you think? Should men and women strive to be irreplaceable or not get replaced? Go ahead.
I feel like the most important point that I caught from the videos was like alignment. So if you guys aren't aligned, then you aren't meant for each other. Mm-hmm. So in that case, replaceable, irreplaceable, whatever, everybody's replaceable, just like a chair. But what, like from the guy's video, it's like, okay, you can replace me, but can you replace the feeling? Like you can replace people all day, like, but can you replace the feeling that you had with somebody? You feel me? So it's like relationships are work, like you said, Jessica.
Mm-hmm. Jessica, yeah.
Relationships are work. And I feel like nowadays, like, people just leave when you say something they don't like, or you do something that, you know, bothers them or whatever. Honesty is a real key communication. You know, I say what bothers me, you know, so if you don't want to change that, then we can have another conversation about it, you know, and decide whether we're a match for each other or not. If we're not a match, then, you know, okay, I can move on and find somebody that aligns with me and my person, and vice versa. I align with them, you know, and we work together on that. But I don't feel like you should act any type of way just to not lose somebody, because if something I do has the potential, or even something that you do has the potential of me leaving, then, like I said, I'm going to say what's bothering me. And if you choose not to fix it, then okay. And vice versa. If there's something that I do that bothers you and I decide not to change it, or it's just something that I'm not willing to change, then, you know, then we can part ways. I had something else I was gonna say. I feel like but in relationships, people grow. You don't know somebody fully when you get into a relationship. You know, even if you were friends, like, you're never gonna fully know somebody, because people always change and like grow. So you have to keep relearning each other and shit. And throughout that journey, you're gonna grow and change. So there's like new things that might bother one of y'all. You know, like, it might not have bothered me that you stayed out that late before, but for some reason it bothers me now. Like, you know, so it's like, either we change together and, you know, evolve. And now, don't be controlling, you know, like, don't be controlling, but be respectful of each other and, you know, understanding. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Pass it. Go back to the main camera. Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for your responses. I appreciate you guys so much. And of course, I see a lot of you guys on the live chat already. RP Tipsy Nomad. First time seeing you here on the live chat. Thank you so much, RP Tipsy Nomad. I appreciate you. Thank you for being on the show. Prudy, good to see you in the live chat. I appreciate you guys. Phil, good to see you in the live chat. PAF, good to see you in the live chat. Get the live chat popping. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate your comments on the live chat. But I do want to respond to the UK economist. Shout out to you. He dropped a super chat, said, question for the ladies. What do you think you have to work on before you meet your future husband so it doesn't scare him away during the courting stage? Good question, by the way. All right, so you don't get replaced. All right, so let's frame it a bit. Frame it. If you do meet your future husband, the man that you want to commit to, he's the type of man that is gonna give you the long-term committed relationship, right? We're talking about the desirable man, not the undesirable man that's gonna waste your time. Okay, so all right, so we're talking about your future husband right now. So if you come across that man and you're courting him, I like the word court. I don't like the word date. Courting is intention, all right? But he's courting you.
It's a declaration.
Yes. But he's courting you. What do you personally need to work on? We're going to keep it honest on this panel, so that it doesn't scare him away to consider you. Oh, you know what? That's a red flag. That's the type of girl I don't want to get serious with, and I need to replace her and find somebody better. So what is that? Just say, I'll keep it simple. 2 things that you think that you have to work on so you don't scare him away. All right. That's how we do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Wait, can I just not say 2 things, because I have like something to say?
Okay, something. Is it the response to that question? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, say that one.
Okay. So for me, when I met my current boyfriend, we were friends first, right? And, you know, he liked me before I even liked him like that. But I had to work on, like, before I even put myself in position to be in a relationship with him, I had to work on, you know, healing myself to a certain capacity, because I knew the state that I was in, basically, like, I'm going to hurt you. Like, I'm into hurting people's feelings right now. Like, I'm going to hurt you.
Mhm.
And it might even be unintentionally,
Mhm.
you know? So I feel like you have to work on, I don't know how you say that in like a category, but just healing yourself to a capacity to where you're open to dealing with somebody. I feel like that's important.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'll pass it to you, Tyso. Two things, just two things that you have to work on, so that way you don't scare away your future husband.
Right. So I don't see outside of like husband, right? It's more so things that I want to work on just in myself with regards to relationship in general. And the reason it's more so consistency of good character, in the sense of, like, you know, obviously before I meet my future husband and stuff like that, I gotta be a wife first, have that mentality of being a wife. And being a wife is like, that comes with its own characteristics in itself, right? And so I have to be consistent as a wife before that even happens, right? And you know, that character in itself, that has to come first before I can, you know, before I can even dare to say that I'm ready for a husband. Okay. So
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What is the wife mentality? So what is the wife mentality that men will look at you and be like, you know what, that is wife mentality for me to invest into her?
Like, shit.
Like, what is that? Like, can you describe it?
Okay. So now this is just from my knowledge, you know, and also watching my mom, but a caretaker, you know, very nurturing, honest, you know, submissive, obedient.
Okay.
You know, the list goes on. Those are the top things coming in, you know, my head right now. But with all of that, there's a character of humility that comes with that too, because I know in a marriage there's two people, not just one person, right? And so there's, you know, those kind of characters, you know, and understanding that and becoming that person before, you know, stepping into, you know, that role with a husband. And so, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you said nurturing, caretaker, submissive, and obedient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I think that's fair. I think that's a lot of qualities that men are interested in women, especially when it comes to women to make their wife. I can agree with that. All right. Thank you so much. I'll pass it to you, Gladys.
Gladys.
Yeah. Same thing. What's something that you have to work on to for your future husband so you don't scare him away?
I guess for me, I mean, I've already worked on a lot, so it's kind of like, but I guess I was just saying the things I worked out. Trying to put the past in the past, any like failed relations, leave them in the past. Work on your healing. Make sure that you're ready to actually get out there to actually be, you know, open to another relationship. As far as anything else, I mean, I'm a pretty good mom. I'm like a pretty good housewife. I've done it. My last relationship, you know, I don't know, it just kind of grew from me. I think because I became like, I kind of helped my mom raise my brothers and sisters. So I've always thought, oh, someday I'm gonna get married and have kids and stuff like that. So because I raised my little sister and stuff like that while my mom worked and stuff like that. So for me, it's like, I think I've been a good housewife. I could cook, clean. I work. I bring in the money. But I enjoy the housewife stuff, and she knows.
Yeah, she does.
She knows.
Okay.
I even do the
Also,
mommy.
ama de casa, huh?
I love doing the mommy stuff, and she knows. And she's always like, "God, you're such a good housewife. How come you're single?" It's just like, not by choice. It's kind of just happened. But yeah, but I think for me, it's more like working on the healing and stuff, which I already did. I left my past in the past. Right now, I'm just open to it, and that's it pretty much.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Thank you so much. All right. Housewife. I heard that. I know a lot of guys like that, you know, housewife. Okay. Pass it to you, Jessica. What's 2 things you need to work on if you're gonna attract that future husband? So he doesn't get scared.
Well, for me, I think I'm always going to be working on myself. That's not going to stop because, like she said, we keep growing, we keep changing as
Yeah.
people. But I feel that I am very direct and honest, and I can come out a little bit as cold. So I think one of the things I need to work on, and I'm working on it, is how I deliver my message. Because I express myself. I'm not afraid to express myself. So I can't even hide if I wanted to, like, hide how I feel. Like, I just say it. And sometimes she told me, you shouldn't have said it like
No,
that.
you shouldn't have done that.
I'm like, but when it's, so I think those are the things that I need to work on. I'm like controlling a little bit on my feelings. I'm not saying that I have a temper, but I'm saying like my emotions, I like to express them. If I'm sad or you piss me off or you hurt my feelings, I'm going to let you know. But I also feel like I'd rather be truthful too. I just got to learn to deliver my message in a way where they can actually listen instead of scaring them away in a way. So I think healing is one of them. And I think it's due to, past histories. But I think that would be that, and continue to just keep working on myself. I guess my husband's going to be able to accept me for my imperfections, but I'm willing to work on. That's how I'm going to say it.
Okay. All right. Just communication. Okay. And I'll pass it to you, Nadia. 2 things you need to work on, Nadia, so you don't scare off your future husband.
I think a big thing is your emotional intelligence. So your ability to empathize, your ability to read the room, your ability to understand why certain people might feel a certain way, why you feel a certain way, and understanding the awareness that comes with that.
Mhm.
So being able to understand and grow your emotional intelligence, I think, is going to be a very important aspect about finding your partner. Whether you're a man that's looking for a wife or you're a woman that's looking for a husband, I think everybody could use some emotional intelligence because it's going to help you understand people a lot more. It's going to help you understand yourself a lot more. And I think I don't want to say morality, but just a good compass to understand, because a lot of us, not just us here on the panel, but a lot of women and men are so used to being alone that they don't know what it's like to be in a relationship. So they don't know what it's like to have a partner, and being considerate of that to grow your relationship. And to your point, people change, people grow. And when you're evolving yourself and, you're healing traumas, right? Because you can have traumas that you go through, and that changes you because our minds are very fragile. And I've talked about that in other episodes. Yeah. Our minds are very fragile, and what happens to us matters. But healing that, being honest with yourself and healing those wounds within yourself, doing the work and being honest, working on your emotional intelligence. So I guess that I feel like that's 3 reasons, but but those reasons.
All right, no worries. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for the great super chat, UK economist. Thank you so much. Great question. Don't forget, if you have any questions or topics you guys want us to respond to, drop it through a super chat, and we'll be able to respond to you guys. And of course, don't forget, this is a virtual podcast. If you do want to join in virtually on the last hour on this podcast, become a supporting member of our locals. The link is below, and you can join in with us on this panel. But I see a lot of new faces here, new names on the live chat. So thank you so much to watching. All right, so we'll go back to the main topic. We all had a chance. I have some questions for you guys, but we all had a chance to respond to each other and say your perspective. Anybody here want to add on to what somebody said, or you want to respond to what somebody said because you disagreed?
No, I can agree with all the ladies.
Okay. Go ahead, Tyson.
I want to just clarify what, just so I understood why you said you didn't want to say moral compass, just compass in general. Why?
Well, see, I feel like I'm lacking a better word for it or a better phrase. So I'm just sticking with a compass, a moral compass, I guess you could say. So I don't want to use that terminology, but for lack of a better I feel like just your moral compass.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was probably a misuse of words
Okay.
on my part.
Okay.
Clarifying. Yeah.
All right, no worries. And then for everybody on the panel, so do you guys agree? Like, if men, as we're talking about with the women's perspective, if a woman is trying to find her future husband, do you guys agree that she should strive to become irreplaceable to that man, and understand that don't do things so that way you don't get replaced? Do you guys agree with that mentality? No.
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 Okay,
not
that's
at
good.
all.
That's good.
Not at
All
all.
right, I agree with it, but I'll explain why. But I would like to hear why you disagree. Lene, why do you disagree? So if a woman wants a husband, wants a long-term committed relationship, she should strive to make sure that she becomes irreplaceable to that man, and make sure that she doesn't do things that doesn't get her replaced. Why do you disagree with that?
I think it's the phrase, like the sentence. Like, okay,
And you-
I better not do something so you replace me. Like, okay, well. So to me, that phrase specifically, like just taking it for how it's worded, like is telling me that if I do something you don't like, it's just, oh, I can replace you. Now, if we're talking about alignment, because, right, I'm like, if you're for somebody, then there's not a lot I can do or that they can do that's gonna make each other, like the two people leave each other, because you're constantly working on stuff. But if you're in the mindset of, oh, if you just do something I don't like and I'm gonna replace you, then no, I don't agree with that.
Okay. All right. I got a response to that. I got you.
Okay.
I'll pass it to you, Nadia. I know you say you don't agree with that. Why do you disagree?
I feel like, to your point, it is a very harsh phrasing. And I feel as though it, I had a point in my head and then I lost it because I zoned out. But I feel as though when you say that somebody is replaceable, to what aspect at what point do you intend to, like, first of all, what do you deem as, like, your phrasing, that's where I'm at. I lost my fucking train of thought. That's where I was. You said, if she doesn't do, or she does something that, deems her replaceable, right? How did you phrase that? Can you phrase that one more time?
Yeah. So what I said was, if you're a woman and you're looking to attract a future husband, right? Should you strive to work to become irreplaceable to that future husband, to that man, and make sure that you do things so that way you don't get replaced by that man?
Yeah, and to my point, what are those things? Because I feel like those things that are kind of insinuated are just things that you should already have in a relationship with somebody. So it's like, obviously, if you're in a committed relationship with somebody, right? Yeah. Probably not thinking about cheating on them, right? Probably not thinking about being emotionally or physically abusive with them. This is assuming that we're speaking from a person that has a healthy state of mind, right? Because if you're still struggling with those things, then that might be an issue. But if we're talking about somebody that's not struggling with mental health or any of those other things, right? We're assuming that this person is a well-rounded, healthy individual as well as a man. So both people are healthy emotionally and physically. Yeah. I feel like in any relationship that you're in, you are striving to be respectful, loving, and dedicated to that person. And that's not just on the female side, right? Because I don't see men, saying, at least men that want to take a wife, like, oh, I expect her to be, loving with me, faithful to me, and XYZ, all the wifey things. I'm not going to do that, though. I don't see men doing that. That want a wife, right? We're talking about a healthy person. So it's like, when they say a woman striving to not do things that would make her replaceable, what are those things? What are those aspects that we're talking about? That's kind of where I want to zone in on, is what do you guys deem as, okay, she did something and now I'm going to replace her? Are you talking about like disrespecting the dynamics of a relationship? which you
Yes.
shouldn't be doing anyways,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, okay, if you're disrespecting the boundaries of a relationship, you're cheating on your partner, you're abusive with your partner, you are neglectful of your partner,
Yeah.
then fuck off, right?
Yeah.
And that might seem a little harsh, but it's like, okay, now we're getting into the area of this isn't a healthy relationship. So if it's not a healthy relationship, then yeah, you should bounce. If it's just a relationship with your average everyday, and I think that's where it gets lost in translation,
Yeah.
and where it kind of like it's I feel like it's clickbait, like it's clickbait terminology because it gets people pissed, right? It's like, oh, well, what would a woman do to make her, irreplaceable? It's like, but men are saying, oh, well, loyal and faithful and loving. That's what you should want from a relationship anyways. At least, I mean, that's just from my perspective. I mean, everybody wants different things from the relationship, but at core, on level 1, right? When you're getting to know somebody, when you're courting somebody, right? When you're courting somebody, meaning there's a declaration there. I want to see if you could be my husband or you could be my wife. You could be my marriage person, whatever. My person. Why would I go into the thought process with, well, you're going to be replaceable, instead of just saying, I hope that we can be in a relationship that's loving and trusting and monogamous, because that's what I want. I want a monogamous, loving relationship.
Okay.
Wait, can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Nah, because in my relationship, right? Like you don't know.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like you don't know if you're gonna be with that person like forever, right?
No. And
So-
that's something that you should discuss.
Yeah.
And that's where communication, I don't know if it was you that said it was about somebody said something about communication, about how communication is important.
I think I said that.
Was it you?
Yeah.
So it's, if you're not communicating those things, and people don't want to talk about that, right? Oh, we're just talking. I fucking hate that term.
Me too.
We're just
right?
we're just talking. It's like, get the
Have
Hey,
you
first of
heard
all-
dating? People say dating as talking now.
No, you know what? It's what do you want? What do you want? And I feel like the older that, because I'm 29, right? I feel like the older that you get and the further you get away from your 20s, depending on where your emotional intelligence is, because some people that are in their early 20s are a little bit more emotionally in tune and kind of know to ask those questions.
Yeah.
So if you get to a stage in your life where you're looking for a husband, you're looking for somebody that you can trust to sleep next to every night, somebody that's going to be around your kids, somebody that's going to give you kids and take care of your kids and take care of you, right? That's a conversation that you should have anyways.
Yeah.
And I'm an advocate for that. It's like, okay, I want to get down to the nitty gritty. What do you want? Are you looking for a wife, or are you looking just to hang out? Because I swear to God, nothing pisses me off more than when a man tells, hey, do you want to hang out? I'm just like,
That's not intentional.
I can hang out with my dad. I can hang out with my mom. I can hang out with my dog. I can hang out with you guys. What? I don't want to hang out with you. Who are you? I don't know you. You're not, what are you, my friend? Are you trying to get to know me? And then it's like that play on words. Oh, well, I'm just trying to get to know you. Well,
So would you prefer a man
That's
instead
why
of saying
I
hang
ask people
out?
their intentions.
yeah, tell me.
Like, what-
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Tell me what you want.
when a guy asks me that, well, of course I'm gonna ask that
Yeah.
for real because I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
But like I asked them, what are your intentions? Like for what?
Yeah. So
For what? For what?
For what?
That's the question. It's like, for what? You want to hang out for what? Because a lot of the time, I get it. We're in a day and age of the swipe. What is it? Swipe
But
right or
Can
left?
I just respond to what you said
Go ahead.
right now?
Yeah.
You know why men,
Tell me.
a lot of men just say they want to hang out with you.
Mm.
You know why men say those things,
Yeah.
right?
I think they just want. In my mind, I load that as,
to know,
you want to,
for me,
fuck.
I feel like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
not
so
men, they're like little.
the reason why men, a lot of men out there, I'm not saying all men, but it's usually a lot of men would say let's hang out, because men understand that the dating market and culture today, it's no longer for marriage and kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Traditionally, back in the past, people dated to get married and to build a family.
Start a family.
So because of hookup culture, we have reversed that in today's modern dating.
Which is
So
what
people
the-
so people don't date for purpose, for marriage, and for kids.
Yeah.
And we all understand for both men and women.
Mhm.
There are a lot of women out there that don't want families.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women out there that don't want kids. They just want to date to date. So a lot of guys understand this is how it is today's dating market. So let's just hang out. And like I said, if you're a woman that wants a family and kids, it's your responsibility to communicate that with them.
Like, no.
But a lot of guys understand. A lot of girls don't look for that no more. So I'm just
Some that do.
they're just responding. They're just
There's some
responding.
that do look
Well,
for it.
I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of women at core do want that.
Yeah.
A lot of women at core do want that. And and it's in different aspects. Like who was that other girl, the one that has a polygamous relationship where I forget her name. She was really cool. She's really nice.
I totally forgot.
Mm.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
So like for even she wants a healthy relationship with
But
somebody.
respectfully, can I just want to respond to that?
Tell me.
There's a difference between wanting something
and
and
actually-
actually doing it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, for both men and women, what we see in today's dating market. So everybody here could sit here and say, I want to be a wife, I want to be a husband, I want a
But they
family.
don't wanna put the
But do
work
you
in.
move that way?
Yeah.
Is your values and your behavior and your actions
Yeah.
are based on family
Yeah.
and kids? And if you look at the way we behave,
There's intention.
right? If you look at the way we behave, we see both men and women out there. They say they want a family and kids, but a lot of the behaviors that's normalized today, like hookup culture, being promiscuous,
Yep.
going out to clubs, partying, having fun, doing drugs, doing alcohol.
Mhm.
These are all normalized behaviors. So a lot of women would say, I want these things, but then from the men's perspective, they're looking at your life and your IG,
That's true.
half naked on IG,
Your
and you're
whole
So,
your
like,
whole life.
yeah. So you want a husband, you don't want a family, but you are not the behaviors that you demonstrating for everybody to see doesn't align with what you say. So that's why a lot of guys are like, you know what? Let's just hang out first to see what you're really about before, if you want commitment, then we can figure that out later. But I'm not just going to come up to you and, I mean, that's what I'm just explaining. I disagree with it, but that's why a lot of guys just want to hang out.
Well, I mean, see, I'll give you an example because you've seen my Instagram.
It depends
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
seen my Instagram. I mean, I have like the picture that you posted, right?
Yeah.
That was a very short stint when I did bottle service when I was 21.
Yeah.
Because I thought a short-term friend of my sister's recommended it. And she was just like, there's a lot of money in it. This is before TikTok, obviously. So I was like, okay, I just want to be a cocktail waitress. I don't know shit about alcohol. I'm like, let me try it out. I was a cocktail wait. I fucking hated every second of it because people would grab you. I had
The bottle girl?
I wasn't even a bottle girl. I was a goddamn cocktail. I was the hostess. Sorry. I was a hostess.
Oh.
I wasn't even actual bottle service girl. And I goddamn it, if I went anywhere near those bottle service girl table, they were getting ready to stab me right where I stood. And I'm just like, first of all, I'm not going to fight over a fucking dollar for anything. I don't like to be touched. Why am I doing this? Right. So it's like on my Instagram, I don't have a lot of, like lewd material, you know what I mean? Like a lot of what I post on my Instagram, at least on my story, it's all like memes because it's like funny. Like I like to laugh, right? But even still, and I bring this point up because it's like all of us at one point were virgins, right?
Mhm.
And I clearly remember during that time still being treated like somebody that was promiscuous. And that was that
Being a hostess?
Not even this was before I was
okay.
I'm talking like right into college.
Okay.
So 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
Right. And then I was a bottle service girl for 2 weeks
Okay.
before I was like, I can't do this. I don't like to be touched. No, I'm not doing this. Right. I got out of there as fast as I could. And it's part of my past. And that's that I didn't even drink. Like I was there and then I got home. My dad waited up for me every night because he didn't like what I was doing. He waited up for me every night until I got home at 2 a.m. And then we went to go get Burger King. So that was like, but that's again, that's it didn't matter. What I mean to say is that a lot of the time it didn't matter whether and we talked about this before we started, how people create these narratives about your life that aren't true.
So what you're saying, when you were a hostess for that club for 2 weeks,
2 weeks.
that caused a lot of judgment from a lot of men.
What I mean to say is that it came before that. It came way before that.
Okay.
So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 for 2 weeks. And
What was the judgment that you were getting?
the judgment that I got is, no, it wasn't judgment. It was assumption.
What was the
The
assumption?
assumption was that I was down to fuck.
Based
all the
off
time.
how you look, right?
Based on how, and this was before bottle service time.
Yeah.
It was before I posted that picture. So this was me posting pictures with my grandpa, posting pictures with my mom and dad, what was it? The occasional selfie where you couldn't even see anything
Because you're attractive.
like below my fucking collarbone.
Where
It didn't
did
matter.
you get this assumptions from? Where did you hear it from?
From people on social media, from men that I either didn't know, right? That were
Okay.
strangers to me,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
people that I even graduated high school with that knew me historically as the girl that didn't put out. They still solicited me in that way. It didn't matter that they knew me as the girl that didn't put out. It became a conquest. So it didn't matter whether I was known to put out, like it didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And they made these assumptions based on, okay, she's pretty, so she must be this way. She's this, so she must be this way. Let me approach her from this angle. And then they would take one step back, like, is this one thing that got me tripping? Because I would tell them, like, who are you talking to? Like, don't talk to me like that.
Okay. Yeah.
You know
I can't
what I mean?
figure out. I mean, I can't figure out why would they assume that, when it comes to online spaces, there's a lot of men out there who are incels. So they assume every girl is provocative.
Yeah.
Right? Even the girls, I understand the girls who are half naked. I get that. But there's a lot of women out there who are not half naked.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of guys out there with no experience with women. They'll just blame all women, put them on the same umbrella.
So you're confused about
So
why
yeah,
they were assuming?
yeah. So I don't have the men or the strangers online. I know that's their perception. I'm trying to figure out in your real life experience, why would people in your real life that know you or seen you or talk to you who would assume that?
Mm.
And I'm trying to figure out why. Yeah.
I understand you. 'Cause that's happened. To
It's
my
and
whole-
this is something that, and I get why you don't get it, because it's not something that
Yeah.
a man would experience. Like it's
Yeah,
not something
yeah,
that a
yeah.
man would experience.
It's not even your type of man's mindset.
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
something that
probably
you
why
can't
you
really
don't
conceptualize.
understand.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's not something
Okay.
that you can conceptualize, because it's like, okay, I'm not somebody that is fast. Have I made some like decisions that maybe weren't for my greatest good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody has at one point. Name somebody that hasn't after you get to a certain point, because you're either naive
Okay.
or you just fucking
Okay.
slip up.
All right, no worries. Let me read some super chats real quick. Casual Germ on the live chat. First time I seen you on the live stream. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Casual Germ said, supporting the show. I see that you are all upgrading this channel, and I support it. Good luck to your success. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate that for your support. Thank you. Okay, so I do want to get back to the main topic. Should men and women strive to be irreplaceable and not to get replaced? I know Lene and Nadia disagreed. Did you guys disagree with that?
disagree.
You disagreed?
I guess,
I disagree.
yeah,
Okay,
it's
you
like
disagree?
a yes or no.
Okay. Tyson, do you agree with that or disagree?
I think I disagree.
Okay, I got some work tonight. Okay. All right. So I actually agree with that, but I think it's the principle, and I think it's just semantics. I think a better way to say, which is the exact same thing. Do you guys agree for both men and women? We all have standards, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Human nature.
All right. And then when we date somebody, you have to effectively communicate your standards to them, yes?
Yes.
All right. And you have to let them know that this is my standards. I'm not going to negotiate it. This is what I deserve and I want to be treated. And there are consequences if you don't respect my standards. Can we all agree with that
Yes,
principle?
we can agree
Yeah.
to that.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
All right. So should we strive to be irreplaceable? I believe for both men and women, we should have high standards, especially if we're talking about long-term committed relationship. And then, of course, I think we have to communicate that standard effectively, but in a healthy way, but not in like a toxic way where it's very abusive. Hey, bitch, you don't respect my standards, you're gonna get replaced. Not that type of way. All right. I'm saying is effective communication. Right. I think it's upfront when you are in the courting stage. That's the time for you guys to communicate your expectations and your standards. And you have to let them know, like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I don't tolerate in my relationship and how you treat me. We can make mistakes. I'm not saying we can't all make mistakes. You know, if somebody makes a mistake, then you have to correct that behavior and communicate that with them. But if they don't correct that behavior, you know, there's an old saying that goes, you know, everybody makes a mistake, but if you repeat that mistake, it's no longer a mistake, it's a choice. You're choosing to disrespect you repetitively in the relationship. So how comes to you? So I believe that when it comes to a relationship, I think we should strive. Irreplaceable means adding value to that person's life. That's the way I see it. Become somebody that adds value to the woman, become a woman to add value to the man. If we're both adding value to the relationship, if we both have standards and we communicate the standards effectively and we reciprocate those standards, and we also understand there are consequences if I disrespect my partner, vice versa for both men and women. If we both operate that way, then we know that I'm irreplaceable because she knows and appreciates my value as a man. She also understands and I also understand her and appreciate her value, what she brings to the relationship. And we have already effectively communicated our standards, and she knows that if you disrespect me, and if you go against what I believe in my standards, I will respectfully walk away from you, and I will find somebody better. Right. So that's the mentality, and I think I think that's the way for a lot of people when they say irreplaceable and not get replaced. I think for a lot of people, the reason why they get upset with that, a lot of people don't want to take accountability for the things that they did in the past. Because to be honest, if you don't behave in the right way, people will leave you. And I think a lot of people haven't gone through the self-reflection to understand that is why you got replaced. That is why you're irreplaceable. And if you haven't figured that out and you're not attracting the men that you want, I don't think both men and women have found that. And that's why for a lot of people, when you talk about irreplaceable and get replaced, they're like, they get offended or they think about something in the past and they don't like those terms. You know, you guys mentioned, I don't like those words, but it's for everything we do in life, right? We have a job. Job has rules. Job has a standard how you operate in the workplace. If you don't do your job, if you don't act accordingly to respect the job and its rules and its guidelines and how you treat your coworkers, you're going to be replaceable.
There's a standard.
I can replace the job too, though.
I know.
You know.
I know.
It's
But here's the difference.
It's like a relationship.
But here's the difference. If that's the job that you want, right? So if that's the job that you want, then you have to act accordingly. The thing is, if you want a husband, if you want a wife, that's the outcome you want, then you have to act accordingly to the very standards of being a husband and a wife. But you can't do things that goes against the very standards of being a husband and wife and say, you know what, I don't want a husband, I don't want a wife, but at the same time, that's what you want as far as your outcome.
Yeah, it's the same though, because that analogy made me think about like not every job treats you right either. So,
but that's why but that's why I prefaced it in the beginning, right? When I asked everybody on this panel, we're not talking about the undesirable men, unhealthy, toxic, abusive men. I'm just talking about the husbands, the men with standards that's going to treat you, respect you, love you, have children with you, take care of your children.
Saying, you found your man.
Yes.
That's
what I'm talking about.
That made me think about
that. That's a big difference.
The equivalent when you said like I don't want that job, for me is that's like the weak man. You don't want the weak man, right? You want the strong, competent men with standards that respect you, right?
To put like a block for the weak men.
Yeah.
But
we're not talking about those men, right?
No. We're talking about the
But if you're saying I found my man,
100%.
I'm gonna do whatever it takes to not be irreplaceable.
Yeah.
But it also, we made it there, right?
There's a value.
There's a value. We made it there. It's been a year, so we're both doing the same thing to not replace.
But before I pass it to you, I just want to explain why a lot of women have a problem with this irreplaceable not get replaced. If you look at the content online, what's pushed towards women, especially the type of content they consume in modern society, there's a lot of content for women saying you don't need a man, right? There's a lot of content that's saying you can do everything on your own, right? You don't depend on a man. So what happens is, if you, like we talked about before, if you're looking for strong men with standards, right, the type of men that you want to have children with, these men are not afraid to effectively correct you if you disrespect them, and they're not afraid to walk away from you. So a lot of these women who have an independent mentality, they're not used to with men having conversation with them. Hey, look, I don't find this respectable. I don't like this behavior. If we want to make this relationship work, we're gonna have to fix this, right?
Mhm.
And there are a lot of guys out there who are afraid to have the conversation,
Oh,
but those are the guys who have weak standards, because men with strong standards are not afraid to communicate that with you effectively in a healthy way. They're not gonna force you. They're just communicate with you. Hey, look, I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for children. This is the way I want to have the relationship. This is my boundaries. You talked about boundaries. This is my standards. I noticed he did this one thing yesterday. I can't do that. That doesn't work for me. Can we work on this so we can move on from the relationship? And also vice versa. You have standards as well,
Yeah.
and you get to hold him correctly. But the thing is, for a lot of women, they're not used to men telling them, "Hey, this is what you need to correct, and this is what you need to adjust." Because society tells a lot of women, saying, "You're independent. All men should accept your behavior. You deserve to be given everything in the world." But the thing is, nobody deserves anything. You have to work for the things you want in life.
Yes.
Yeah.
that's
So a
what
lot of
it
women
is.
are avoiding the responsibility for actually making the changes and learning from their past mistakes,
There's a
because
lot
they've
of
been
toxic
told
shit.
they've been told their whole life that you don't need a man and you deserve to be exactly the way you are, and a man should just accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
No,
I
I
agree.
agree.
I
Well,
agree.
because it's the packaging and how you do it. And I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that men are just like, well, women can't handle the truth. Again,
Oh, I
it's
love
about
it.
again, and this is where I say it's important to grow your emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Because if you're able, see, look at how you switch that up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you just proved to everyone here and people that are watching that you have the high emotional intelligence to be able to repackage something that makes sense. That is, you're not protecting feelings. You're saying, okay, this is what it means
Yeah.
when we say this, because
Yeah.
men and women have our minds for some reason.
No, we
Versus
interpret things
like-
differently.
The comment right there.
Oh,
right?
I am watching this shit, and I'm just like, okay,
feel
you know,
me?
why is it so?
Why do you
is
have
it
to say it like
yeah,
that?
why do you have to say it like that? And see, here's the thing. I am 100%. When I find the man that I'm going to fall in love with, that is going to be the father of my children, right? That I'm going to grow with, I am 100% in the state of mind that I want to please my partner. I
Yeah.
want to love my partner. I want to give my husband happiness. And, you know, I see that all the time. Like, oh, are you going to be his peace? It's just like, we are each other's peace.
Yeah.
I feel
Absolutely.
safe with you.
Facts.
Yeah.
I feel safe with you. You feel at peace with me. It is, there's a give and take to a relationship. And I am willing and ready to, you know, love a man that is like that, you know, with me. Like, are you going to be that type of person? You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hate that.
Okay.
I hate the way they word that shit.
No, yeah. So just pass it back to the
Oh.
panel. I want to get you guys. Oh, go, Lene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say too, like, there are some things that I shouldn't have to tell you. Like, that's just like,
Like what?
duh. Like,
You know why I disagree with that?
no, because okay, right. From my personal life, right?
Yeah.
My dog
Okay.
means so much to me.
Okay.
I've gone through a lot with her, right? If, say, she ran out the house, because this is the only thing I can think of right now. She ran out the house, right? And you seen she ran out the house, right? And you're leaving the house, right? And you continue to leave. There's somebody that just went in the house or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could have gotten her, put her back.
Mhm.
I'm at work, right? And you just like send a text, right? The dog is out.
Instead of just
But-
Until like I shouldn't have, and mind you, I tell you in moment, right? I tell you that bothered me, right? I shouldn't have to tell you like to fix it.
I disagree.
me?
I disagree with what you just said right now. I think when it comes to relationships, we all have different ways of behavior that we have to teach the other people that this is what I want in this relationship. So we can't assume people know what you want. I think,
There's some duh
no,
things, though.
well, for a lot of men, we don't know that.
Like, okay,
With
Like,
okay.
here-
Right.
and I'll give you, and the reason why I'm
Different
pushing back,
language.
Yeah.
That's
The-
what
the-
I
And
meant.
then I
the
feel
re-
like you have to talk to them and tell them.
the reason why
I feel
I
you
want to
have
push back,
be like,
the reason why I push back on this because
Mhm.
one of the things that we talk about often is one of our, I guess, pet peeves of women is that you want us to be psychic.
mhm.
Yes.
I don't want you to be
Yes.
psychic. Like, okay, let me give a better example, right? Say, I don't know.
No,
Like,
no,
it's
just to keep it simple, because just to
Yeah.
keep it simple,
Like, there's
whatever you
some
don't like,
things.
right? Whatever you want your man to do,
Mhm,
because if you're looking for masculine, we're very solution oriented.
mhm,
If there's something specific that you want us to do, just communicate that with us,
Mhm.
mhm.
and don't assume that we know, because sometimes
Yeah.
we just don't know.
Oh,
They
All
don't.
right.
They really don't.
You
Like,
really have to
I'll give you a
communicate.
perfect example.
But
that-
there's
experience
just some
that-
things that it's like
You
know,
would
like
think
I know
would
what
be
To
you're
you,
saying,
it's
though.
no,
that-
just
I like how you both are like,
in all
yes.
humans, like there's just some duh things like you know that's gonna upset somebody.
You'll
It
be
doesn't even have to
surprised.
just be me.
You'd be surprised.
You
Like,
will be
surprised.
surprised.
I feel
I
like
mean-
common sense.
Yes.
That's okay.
Like
Well,
the-
okay.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean. I know
Here-
what you
here-
mean.
Common sense.
Here's a
I
perfect
guess.
example with your dog thing, right? Like if your dog just runs outside, right? When I grew up, dogs ran around everywhere.
Mhm.
When the dog ran outside, there was no like, I'm gonna go and find the dog. If I'm used to that and you come across and then a man that grew up like that, if the dog runs outside, that's the way he was raised. So he just not gonna think about it. But for you, hey, common sense for you is when the dog runs outside, go find him so that way something happens, you want to bring back that dog to safe. Just communicate that to that guy. Hey, look, with the dog runs outside, can you
I'm
please?
telling you.
Yeah.
with
Not let
men,
him be
you
outside.
You have to
And
communicate.
there's-
No, I mean, I get what you're. I
Because there's just
I get
some
where you're coming
duh things.
Yes.
I get. Okay.
Like I get communicating, but there's just some duh things that are just
Mhm.
like this is gonna upset anybody.
I'm picking up what you're
But
putting
those-
down.
you
I'm,
feel
I'm
me?
picking up what you're putting down. But and this is where it comes into the communication aspect,
Mhm.
and it's a redundant thing that goes into getting to know. So with the dog example, right? For the dog example, like I have a dog too, and he's my world. I fucking love that dude. I love him
Right.
so much, and he just looks at me, and I'm just like, I love everything about you, and even though you piss me off, I love you, right? But because I love him so much, right? If I have him in the care of somebody else
Mhm.
at any point, so it's like my parents have strict instructions, but don't leave. Like, yes, take him out to potty, but I'm taking him on his walks. Don't let him out of the room until I get home because I don't need an accident. If you guys aren't watching him and he gets into something that he's not supposed to, that's another $3,000 vet bill for me.
Mhm.
Leave him where he needs to be, right? If I have somebody else watching him, he's very reactive to animals. He's not supposed to be off leash. Don't take him on walks. Let me take him on a walk. I just need you to watch and make sure he doesn't swallow nothing. Like, though you give certain instructions to prep, like you're watching like my animal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So it's like
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but on like if we're using that as an example, right? In communication,
but with that example, that's already knowledge that the other person has.
if they have known you well enough, right? If you've
Yeah.
already had this
No,
conversation,
I'm saying that.
they're living with you.
Yeah.
They already
Yeah.
they've already been around your dog. They know how much you love your
Yeah,
dog.
that's what
So
I'm saying.
if they already know, like you've already had a conversation, I
Yeah.
love my dog, please make sure that you're watching him.
Then
Don't let
yeah,
him
that's what I'm saying.
don't let
Like,
him or her. You are so this is with the knowledge that you might have already had this conversation.
Yeah.
And
If somebody didn't know, then that I would say that.
if you know and that's just with the kind of
with
like
that example.
yeah, the kind of insecurity, but like moving away to the actual meat of what you're denoting, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me just Jessica, you want to say something?
Well, yeah. Well, what I think is I had to be in several relationships to actually learn that guys don't. You may let them know certain things and you expect they know the whole part of it. And I learned to kind of be more. I think that's why I'm more direct and I come strong because I feel like they just don't get it.
Yeah.
How we feel as women and how we think is completely different than a
I've been
man's way
learning
of
that.
thinking.
Can I give you guys? I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to generalize it, but
Yeah.
Okay.
this is what we do see that women tend to do.
Okay.
The way you guys communicate is very indirect,
Mhm.
right? So, like for men is if we want something done between us and other men, we just very direct with them. Hey, I need you to do this.
Mhm.
All right, need to get done. I think for a lot of you guys, because you guys don't like to have confrontation, especially the things that's really important to you. A lot of times you give us clues, hey, and just like please you won't be direct of your message, but you want us like I'll give you a perfect example. The trash. Like if the trash, if you want us to take out the trash, just tell us go take out the trash. But a lot of women would say, you know, that's the trash has been there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
All
Or just
right.
like aggressively take the trash out,
Yeah,
slam the
yeah.
door, and just be like, damn it.
So a lot of women would say, you know, that trash has been there a couple of days, Mr. Husband or Mr. Boyfriend. But a lot of guys are like, yeah, it's been there a couple of days. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, it's
No.
like you and you
It's
learn how to
true.
communicate, like
Yeah.
baby, can you please take the trash
Yeah,
out?
Yeah,
and
no,
that's how
I
we operate.
definitely-
Like you need
It's also how you
That-
deliver it
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're like, if you deliver it kind of rude, then they're gonna be like,
Men
I'm gonna
like to
pretend
use
like
you
it
too with
But
love
I
too.
also think that
Mhm.
in the beginning of a relationship, you don't feel that confident yet
Mhm.
to be there. Now, if you've been in a relationship already, and I want to say 3 years, because to me, I feel like in 3 years, you already know everybody how to get in somebody's skin,
at
what
least
takes
2
somebody.
years. Yeah.
I feel like then you feel more confident. Hey, I'm really upset. I told you to take the garbage. You notice as years pass in a relationship, as you grow,
Mhm.
you become more direct. And that's why your true colors start coming out. Hey, you didn't throw the garbage. I told you this. But when you're in the beginning of the relationship, I feel like you're kind of trying to see, like, you don't feel that confident yet
Yeah.
to kind of be very direct to the
Yeah.
person.
You have to learn how to talk to a
Yeah.
person.
what is communication
Yeah.
comes along.
Yes.
And I think if you get to a point where you have to yell at each other to do something, that means that there was a lack of communication
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
So usually the best way to communicate to people, just let them know, hey, look, I appreciate you, but can you make sure that the trash is always taken out? I don't like it when it's overflowing, right? And I can smell it.
Yeah.
Just communicate that to that guy. And if guy's accountable and is responsible, so I got you. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah.
But if you don't communicate to him, for a lot of guys, like we'll just let that trash get to its worst, and then we'll take
Oh my
it.
God. He's like, I'm
And then
gonna
we'll
wait until
take it.
it's all falling out and you'll be like,
Okay, we
well,
need
I
to
guess
take
it's
it.
time to take the trash
Right.
out.
Yeah. So like, well, I mean, that's just one example, but we're men who are very accountable. Like we respond to being very direct, and
Yeah.
yeah, just have that conversation, be direct. Now, if you can't take instructions, if the guy's not responsive to you, what you want, especially if that's something that matters important to you, then that's a him issue,
Mhm.
and that's something you have to address.
But
Yeah, that's a
I
different
still
issue.
feel like there are some no duh that's gonna make
Here,
you mad.
I'm telling you,
Like, because it's gonna make anybody mad. Like, it's gonna piss anybody off. It's not just me.
Yeah.
I just can't think of a
Yeah.
cool like
one
example right now.
One
But
life
there's
at-
just some duh things, like not even just with men, but with like friends or whatever. Like, this is
Yeah.
duh. Like, why would you do that?
there was one life advice my former boss used to tell me: never assume anything.
Yeah.
Always communicate.
But
never
but
assume
mind
anything.
you, to me, right? I'm like, if you don't know, like if you're oblivious of that duh thing, that's gonna make me not talk to you. Because how do you not know that that's gonna make somebody mad?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you take,
You know,
What if you just don't know?
but that's a problem, because if it's something that I deem as duh,
Yeah.
like, why would you do that? Like,
But what
Why
I'm
would
saying
you-
is, what
why
if
would you-
what if you come across somebody that's very responsive
mhm.
and is open to communication?
You just
You
have
just have to let them know.
But if it's a duh thing to me,
To
it's-
you, I'm
it's
saying
gonna
it's to
make-
you.
But it's to anybody. That's what I'm saying. Like, it would make anybody mad. Like, if somebody
You're talking-
left your house a mess.
Oh yeah, that's common
That's
sense.
du-
I thought you were talking
that's
about your
duh.
dog.
No.
Okay.
If that's duh, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
they, and they
okay.
don't
Yeah.
they don't know.
No, okay.
You feel me?
That's common
gonna-
sense.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying.
That's
Okay.
the level of disrespect.
That's
that
what
would
I'm
be
saying.
that would be disrespect.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
So I mean, yes, there are some factors in which, okay, but that all also ties into how that person was raised.
Yeah.
Right. So how they were reared as children and became adults. Right.
Right.
So it's like, I was always taught when I went over somebody's place, I pick up after myself.
Mhm.
I offer to help with the dishes.
Mhm.
Can I put anything out? Can I take out, can I be, thank you for having me. Right. Like
Yeah.
that's how I was brought up.
Mhm.
Right. But some people weren't brought up like that. So some people will like go and like they have dinner and they just throw the dish in the sink and they don't rinse
Yeah.
it. Right.
Yeah.
Some people just don't have those types of values because that's just not how they were reared. That's not how they were brought up. So it might be a no duh to maybe anybody in this room, right? So it's like you go over to somebody's house, you're a guest, you're respectful,
Mhm.
right? Maybe they do something that you don't agree with. Just keep your opinions to yourself because you're a guest in their house, and then just maybe never go over there again, right?
Mhm.
So it's one of those things, right? It's just respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me let's get back to the live chat. I see Win FTW. Good to see you on the live chat. I appreciate you guys. And I know Milagros, you want to jump on. Milagros, jump on at 9:30, and you'll be able to join in as our virtual guest. Appreciate you. Hawk to I'm done. I do want to come back. I have a question I want to ask you guys because it's relatable to the topic. So, to respond to the clip that we saw with the men, right? So there's a lot of advice for a lot of guys that if you want a woman to respect you and value you and respect your standards, become a man with abundance. So that way you have options, and that way your woman knows that you have options. So that way that if you see any disrespect from the relationship, you can move on to the next person. And the reason why a lot of men give that advice, it's because the way we attract our partners is a little bit different. For a lot of you women, right? You guys, there's always going to be a guy out there that's you're always going to attract men, right? Because I don't know if you guys heard that term. Women always have inherent value, but as a man, we have to build our value through the way we provide and protect our women. So for a lot of things that men look for in a woman, just be youthful, beauty, if you can have children, those are enough for guys to date you and start a family with you. But for a man to be attracted to a woman, he has to be competent. He has to be able to provide for you, usually through the form of financial, and make sure to take care of his family. Those things. So for a lot of guys, we have to kind of build our financial competence to show the ability that we can accumulate resources. So that way we know that as a woman that you can trust me, that when you have children, I can take care of you through your pregnancy and I can support my family, right? Mm-hmm. So what a lot of guys are saying is, if guys are not financially competent and they're not working to be financially strong providers and protectors, you're not going to get no options. Like, women are not going to be with you long term, right? So if you don't want to be with a woman that's going to disrespect you, you have to let her know that you're that type of person that you have options, and you can, if you get disrespect, you can move on to the next person, right? Mm-hmm. So the question I want to ask you guys is, if you're dating with the man that's your future husband, and this is the man with standards and the man that's going to love and respect you, do you respect him and also behave better, knowing that he's the type of man that if he sees disrespect from you, he has the ability to walk away and find somebody else? Because there is a lot of guys out there who are not putting in the work to become strong provider protectors, to become the type of man women want to be with long term, because they lack options. A lot of women will date these men, and they know that these men are not the type of they're the undesirable men. So women would be with those guys and disrespect those guys because they know that they can't go anywhere else. Mm-hmm. So I want to bring that to you guys. Does that have you guys? What's your response to that? Like, if you date a guy and you know that, have you guys ever dated a guy, and we're gonna be honest on this podcast,
yeah,
and then you knew that this is an undesirable dude, like nobody wants him, but for some reason I'm just gonna be with him for now. But you know for a fact that this is not the guy.
I won't be with them for now.
Personally, no. I don't think I've ever seen like, from my perspective, right?
Okay.
From my perspective, if I've seen a guy and I found him not or undesirable for whatever reason, I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But if I see a man and my first thought is he's undesirable, I'm just gonna, ouch. First of all, that fucking sucks. Okay. I think that would hurt, right? Okay. That would be very shitty.
What did you think about when you first saw him?
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, I care about you so much. What did you think about when you first saw me? And then in your mind, it's just like undesirable.
Well, there's this term called placeholder. So a lot of men and women would date somebody as a placeholder for temporary reasons, just to be in something right now.
Is that a man thing or a woman?
They don't even do that.
Well, I'm saying a lot of people do that, right?
Yeah.
So they'll just be, and a lot of people do it. They'll just date somebody for now because they're still waiting for their ideal man or woman. But for now, I'll just be with this person because I don't want to be alone. So I'll just date this person, even though you know for a fact that you don't see him desirable, you don't respect him. So what?
I couldn't. I couldn't. I don't think I could be in a relationship.
But we can all agree that does exist, right?
That does exist. Okay. People do that.
So the advice for a lot of guys, so if you don't want to be used as a placeholder, right? Because women, if you're with a guy that you know that's your placeholder, you're not going to respect him. Right, you're gonna disrespect him because you know that he has no other options, and he's gonna tolerate you because he's just gonna be with you regardless, right? So the advice to a lot of guys is, when I say abundance, I'm not talking about promiscuity.
No,
I'm not talking about go out there and sleep with multiple women. I'm just saying is be a very competent men that can provide, responsible, that can take care of a family. So that way, you know that there are other options out there. So if a woman is disrespecting you, you have no problem walking away from the relationship and move on. But the thing is, for guys who are undesirable and they haven't put in the work, and they're not the type of man most women want long term, a lot of guys, because they know they don't have options, they would tolerate disrespect from women, and that's why they find themselves in very abusive relationships. So the advice for a lot of guys: become a good man, strong man, work on yourself, become a man of value, and make sure that you have multiple options. So that way, if the first sign of disrespect, you let her know, look, I don't have a problem walking away if this doesn't get corrected. And if she still disrespects you, then you have confidence. And you know what? We're not meant to be, and we'll walk away. But a lot of guys don't have the capacity. So a lot of you guys said that you never dated an undesirable man. Have you guys ever dated a guy that treated you well, he respected you, you guys were in a great relationship, but you also knew that, man, this is a catch. Like, this is a guy that I know for a fact that he can be with anybody, but he's choosing me, so I'm going to appreciate this.
I feel like I've been bamboozled a lot. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's what I was going to say.
So-
Yes, but then you kind of realize as you get to know them that you've been bamboozled.
Yeah, then you
I have something
Jessica,
to
go ahead,
say.
Jessica.
I really have something to say. I think a lot, like in men, for the men's out there, sometimes I run into the most good-looking guys, and I think, oh my God, they're so hot, but their confidence is not there. It doesn't match any of it. And the ones that are not standing out as much and they're kind of mysterious, those are the ones I normally get attracted to.
Yeah.
Because they have more.
Confidence.
Yes.
The guy no one wants is the one she wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not because he's a
Don't say-
loser. It's because he's not really attractive at all.
He's confident.
But he's confident.
He's
Yeah.
confident. He's confident.
But he's
and-
sexually unattractive.
Well, I think he's sexy. To me,
Only
I find
to
him
her.
To me, I find him sexy.
So not conventionally
Well, because
attractive.
all my friends says that I have a different type. They
Yeah,
always
she
tell
has a
me,
type.
oh, they always tell me, oh, these guys come to you. They're so attracted to you, but you never go for them. But it's the way they come at me. They come with this. You want to come at a lady, come with like a gentleman, come respectfully. Don't come like, what's up, baby? Can we get it?
Oh, like a player. Don't come like a
Yes,
player.
don't come at me like that.
Or the
Like,
player, the player
no.
vibes.
Oh.
Okay.
Honey, go find another toy somewhere else. But if you have a good if I can have a really interesting conversation with somebody, for me, it's more about what's in the mind and the soul.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like saying like the physical to me, and
Okay.
to me, I'm attracted to that
Yeah.
person.
But
So I
sometimes
find him sexy.
even the ones that are not attractive,
Yeah.
Okay.
they're also players.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't,
Yes,
it doesn't
that's true.
matter.
I can agree
Because
to
I've
that.
seen a couple of them
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Oh, so I just
Yeah.
want to go back to the question. I would love your response. So, if you come across a guy, right? I'm talking about this is a future husband, good qualities, good standards.
Okay.
He's attractive, conventionally attractive, like Nadia said, right?
Yeah.
And you know that he can be with any woman, but he chooses to be with you. Does that make you respect more and be willing to be in your best behavior because you
Yeah,
understand like
absolutely.
this is attractive to all. This is the type of man that most women will want,
Makes
but
me
for
wanna
some
be
reason
the best version of
we're
myself.
Yeah.
together.
Which is not,
Okay.
and that's not to say that you're somebody that you're not, right?
Yeah.
Because and we talked about this when I came in, like
Yeah.
like you can't, because eventually the facade is going to drop, right? And then you're like all of a sudden you're just like, oh my God, who did I marry? Because you like.
No, I'm not talking about the
completely
guys that put a facade.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
how
I'm
he
talking
really
about like,
is.
Yeah.
like
If it's the real
Yeah.
like people, like
Yeah.
it's like you're being your authentic self. You want to be, and that's what I, for the most part, I feel like when because I'm single right now,
Yeah.
I'm, taking care of myself, obviously, and that's not going to end when I get into a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue doing things to love myself, like eating well, drinking water,
Yeah.
having a good relationship with the people in my life, a healthy relationship, learning how to communicate better,
Yeah.
because I feel like communication is key to the success of any kind of relationship.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, a man, right, that he could have anybody, right, and he's choosing you, it makes you want to be the best version of yourself and not in a way that's fake. It's I want to be this person for you. Why? Because it's just bring it out of me, right? There's some
Naturally happens.
yeah,
there's
It's
some
just
women that
natural.
happens.
there's some
Yeah,
women that
okay.
become the ama de casa with
Yeah.
men that they
It does naturally
basically like
happens when it's the right
the woman
guy.
of the
Yeah.
house. Like you wanna cook for him. Like for me, like
You
when I
enjoy it.
yeah, when
You're
I-
not doing the
I
things
did
you
that,
didn't like
yeah,
before.
when
You're
I
like,
did that
I'm
with
making
my
an
serious
effort on
when
boy.
I dated men that I really saw as high value,
Yeah.
I was just like, what do you like to eat? Like, what do you like to do? Like, let me make something for you. Like, let's go do like this. It makes me really want to, and that's not a feeling that I get with every man that crosses my hemisphere. I'm not entertaining every single man that comes in that way.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not just because somebody's like, oh, hey, what's up, Nadia? Oh my God, let me cook for you. Like, it's like, no, it's like, I love you. Right?
I want to pass it to Tyson. I'll give you some time. I want to. What do you think?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
I was-
No,
Like
so
I was telling you now.
so if you come across a man that we're talking about the man with standards, a good man, has the qualities that you're looking for, and you know that he's the type of man that a lot of girls want to be with, but he chooses to be with you. Does that make you respect him more, and does it also make you make sure that you put your best foot forward and make sure the way you behave towards him, because you know for a fact like he can be with anybody, any girl right now, but he chose to be with you. Does that have a difference on the way you look at him, the way you respect him, and the way you come into the relationship?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I have the utmost respect because I understand, if people find you desirable, I hope that for them. And that's because if people find you desirable, it makes it I value and appreciate it much more and respect it, respect that person a lot more.
Yeah.
And so absolutely.
Okay. All right. So I can then Lene, what's your response to that?
I'm trying to remember the question. What was
So my question is, if you come across a husband type, right? This is a guy that husband material, has the qualities and standards you're looking for, and you know that a lot of girls want to be with him, but he chose you because like you guys found a way to be together and you want to be with you. Do you respect him a lot more, knowing that he's the type of man that he has options, and a lot of girls want to be with him, but he chose to be in a committed relationship with you? Does that make you respect him more, and also that also encourages you to behave, put yourself in the best behavior, because you know that this is like a catch right here?
I would say, what was I gonna say? You're saying if I see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I would say yeah.
Yeah.
I would say yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
no worries.
because I feel like I'm in one of those right now.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's you.
All right.
I
Tyson?
I also want to add something. To be able, I know that kind of person, you have to work to attract that kind of person, right? So there's also that understanding of dude, if I don't gotta work for you, that's easy. That's a little too easy. So the challenge, the challenge for working for somebody like that, to attract somebody like that, already make it hard for me to attract you, because I know once it does happen, it's exclusive. No one has access to that person because the amount of work you got to put in, But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Can I add?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because for me, I have, because of my history, I have behaviors that are not necessarily good, and basically I feel like when I met who I'm with, I switched to be who I used to be with, how they were, in terms of just kind of getting at you a little crazy and just not being how I was when I was with them. But then I see myself how I used to be in him.
Yeah.
So because of how sweet and genuine that he is, I'm and I see that those were my behaviors.
Mhm.
And I see the change in who I was. I'm like, I work every day to not get at him crazy, and to be somebody that, like, I don't want to be a fucking tornado for you, bro. Like, I actually really love you. And like, you are anybody that, somebody would want. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, I appreciate and value you. I don't want unhealed things that I have going on to cause me to lose you.
Because
So
care
I
about you,
would
'cause I
say,
value you.
yeah. So I would
get it.
say, yeah, to
All
the
right.
question. Like, it makes me act better.
No worries. No worries.
The best
Takes
version
the
of
right-
yourself.
Yeah.
The
the
best
right
version
man
of
to do
yourself.
that.
Because
It takes
you
the right
bring
guy
that
to
out
do
of
that.
me.
Yeah.
I do want to add one thing because you mentioned before that you were with a guy that you find attractive, but Gladys doesn't find attractive.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I told her it's a good thing because we shouldn't find the same guys attractive. So.
Well,
We shouldn't compare
Yeah.
the same guy.
I think I think objectively for everybody on this
Yeah.
panel, we know what conventional attraction is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A guy that looks good, and also a woman that looks good, right? But sometimes, as we might find somebody that we just like because there's a reason why. But the question I want to ask you, Jessica, because you know that the guy that you like, most people won't find conventionally attractive.
Mhm.
Just you.
Yeah.
So you know that most people don't find him attractive. So he's not the type of guy that has a lot of options or attraction from a lot of women.
Mm.
Does that have an effect on your ability to respect him and behave?
No, because you actually see, I feel like a lot of ladies are missing out on guys like that because you're so focused on what's out here
And not the personality.
and not that real person.
Yeah.
And to me, I had to learn the hard way. Like, what do I want? The physical, so I can look good because it's gonna match my exterior or whatever,
Yeah.
my aesthetics, or do I want something who's gonna be real with me and want to put the work to get to know me and get to know them?
Love and
No.
respect you.
Yes, but
And I
Yeah.
feel like that makes somebody more attractive.
yes,
But
Yeah.
and you see a different side of them.
Yeah.
I have witnessed, I see a good side and I fall in love with them and I love them and sometimes I made mistakes where I thought that guy was fat, but I made mistake where they have plenty and I'm like,
Like,
I'm
damn.
heartbroken. God damn it, I fell for you, But
here, I have a question. Well, go ahead, finish.
But I goes to tell you that it's not always about the looks.
Yeah.
You may think that guy might not be attracted and he might not do anything wrong to you. At the end of the day, every man is a man. Let's just face the reality. It doesn't have to do anything with the physical. Hey, he's better looking. He's going to have more options. He's probably going to most likely play you. Any man can do it. Any man can do it. Man is a man. Is the man chooses you what matters. And if the man is willing to be loyal to you is what matters. Not if all the girls want him, it should be how he treats you, how he brings the best out of you. Like you were explaining, he just brings the best out of you. At the end of the day, I think everybody wants that in a relationship.
Yeah. Okay. No. Just to respond to what you said, I think I do understand that there's a conventional attraction what we find attractive, but if we're gonna keep it real on this podcast, the attraction does matter for everybody to a degree. I'm not saying it's the only component.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
That's what's gonna get you.
It doesn't matter.
Attraction is different for every person.
But I'm saying-
Attractive.
Well, like I said, there's everybody's different when it comes to attraction, but there is a conventional attraction where we all know, like, if you talk to 100 people, 99 people will say that person is attractive.
Yeah.
There are ugly people out there. Let's be honest, right? There are people
Well,
like
have you? So a question for the panel,
Yeah.
I guess you could be included in this too.
Yeah.
Have you been able to identify that a woman is attractive, but not been attracted to her?
like talking about physical attraction.
Yeah, like you can, like, she's
Yeah.
pretty, she's attractive. I can identify that she's attractive,
Yeah.
but I'm not attracted to you.
No, yeah. There's a
Because that's the thing.
what I'm saying is physical attraction is important, but I'm saying it's not the only one. Like
Yeah.
you could be physically attractive, but if you have a bad personality and no values and bad behavior, it won't last long term.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter initially because biologically we have to find attraction, especially sexually, right? So you can't be with somebody that you're not
Eventually,
sexually.
you gotta
Oh,
take it
yeah.
to the
You can't be somebody you're
But-
sexually
and you have to
compatible
take
with.
it
and you will
That
always,
matters too.
you will always gravitate towards the person that you are sexually attracted to in one way or another.
Yeah.
Because you're attracted to something about them. It could, and maybe you know, because, you know, people talk about like the whole, you know, the whole dad bod thing, like, oh, I really love the dad bod. And then other women are like, oh, no, I like the abs, right? So it's like, but the women that like the dad bods, I mean, do they identify that maybe a guy with like nice abs is pretty cute, right?
Mhm.
But they're just like, no, but I like to cuddle up with some
Mhm.
extra,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to identify, like, I find you attractive.
Everybody's version is
Like,
different.
everybody's version is different. Like,
Yeah. it's
my friends, you know, their partners or their husband or boyfriends or whatever, they find them attractive. And I'm just like,
they might be ugly to you.
in my mind, I'm just like, I would never date that person, right?
Yeah.
I have a lot of love for your
Exactly.
partner
We
and
never do
respect
that
for
to
your
each
partner
other.
because
You
they're
wouldn't
your
date who I
partner.
would date.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
like-
there's an attraction that I think exists when you date somebody, and it's for different reasons. Maybe it's the physical,
Yeah.
right? It could be the physical because, you know, the height aspect, right,
Yeah.
is a big thing. That debate online is just like, oh, well, girls only like guys that are 6 feet and up.
Most.
And
most.
I dated short guys.
but
She's dated short
I
guys.
dated short guys.
but see, like I am 5'2.75". I'm short. All right.
I'm
I am short. Like I am short. Right. So most men, even short, the shortest
Yeah.
men are taller than me.
Yeah.
But you know, I've dated guys that were like 5'7", 5'6", and I've had a dude that was 5'6" break the fuck out of my heart. And I was in deep with him. I really liked that man.
Mhm.
And, you know, I liked the way he talked to me. I liked the way he treated me. And then it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Lene.
Because I'm not going to lie. Like, well, okay. So first I'll start off with, I most of the time don't find people attractive until I know them.
Mhm.
You know, I can
Yeah.
identify, okay, you're an attractive person or you're
Definitely.
not so. But I personally won't find people attractive
Yeah.
until I know them, right? So like I was with somebody previously that, you know, at first and mind you, like I'm usually neutral. Like I'm not like, oh, I find you attractive. Oh, I don't, right? I'm usually neutral. Like, okay, right?
Are you talking about physical attraction?
Yeah, physically.
Isn't
like-
I mean, isn't there like conventionally?
Yeah,
physical
that's why I
traits that
said I
make
can
people attractive?
identify if
Okay.
somebody's attractive or not. But on a personal level, I'm usually neutral.
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I was with somebody that, you know, it wasn't neutral. I was just like, I don't really think you're that attractive, right?
Mhm.
But I got to know who I thought he was, and he became really attractive to me, you know. And I wouldn't even say, even now, like I wouldn't say he's ugly, but I didn't find him attractive. You know.
Yeah.
But once I got to know who he was,
Certain aspects of his personality
You know?
became incredibly appealing.
yeah, and I was like, ooh, like you look good.
Yeah.
Like,
Why did it? Yeah.
Yeah,
it
you
could
feel
be
me?
assertiveness. It could be the way they carry themselves. It could
Yeah.
be the way that they speak to you.
Yeah,
could,
it was just his person at the
Yeah.
time. You feel me? So, and then same thing, like if somebody's personality is real ugly, like even if you are conventionally attractive, I will find you ugly as shit.
Well, I know what you mean because I dated
Yeah.
an attractive dude, but there was absolutely
And
nothing upstairs, and I was just
I
like,
can't
yo,
find you attractive anymore. I'm like, how did I even see that, bro?
Have you guys ever dated a man that you knew that you can walk all over?
No.
No.
It was never appealing. I never seen a man that was like,
But it was,
okay.
but it was when I was younger. It was
Okay.
really young.
Okay.
But I did it because
How did you
experience?
how did you know that you could walk all over him?
Damn.
Because
They make it easy for
She's like,
her
I
to
just
walk
wanted to
over.
experience it.
How did you know you could walk all over this man?
because I put him in situations where I was waiting for him to break up with me, and he
didn't.
wouldn't. He
Yep.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
And he just wouldn't. And I was like, are you kidding me? Finally, I have to do it. And even like that, he wouldn't stop. And I learned that.
Was he the type of guy that the most women would consider attractive? They could just move on to the next girl, or did he have no options?
I would say, I don't even think he liked me. I honestly think he just had an obsession.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's
true. Like
How old were you?
I want to say 18.
An attachment.
Yeah,
Like a little trauma
'cause I
bond.
wouldn't say
He had a little
was,
trauma
I
bond
wouldn't say he
moment.
was ugly, and I'm not going to say he was hot, but there was just, he was just, and even I would tell him, I don't think you really like me. I think you think because the way I treat you psychologically is making you want me because you're not having me your way.
Were
want
you
me.
Yeah.
were you the prettiest girl he's ever been with prior to that?
That I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he had other girls, but I don't know if I'm the prettiest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, usually if men tend to stay in a relationship, they get walked all over and they get disrespected. It's either they have some like psychological issues, or they don't have they're scared to move on to find somebody else because that's the best they can get. For a lot of guys, that's what they're talking about, the fear-based mentality and not the abundance mentality. If you have confidence in yourself that you know what you're worth and what you deserve, you have confidence you can go out there to the dating market and find somebody else, you're not going to tolerate disrespect. Usually for a lot of guys, once they find like a pretty girl they actually like and they know like, oh wow, this is my best opportunity I can get, there are a lot of guys who tolerate disrespect because they just have a very scarce mentality.
Well,
like-
my
And you
advice
do
for
see
those
that.
guys.
That makes sense.
Well,
And you just
Especially
see
if you're
those
pretty.
guys, yeah.
Especially if
Well,
you're
I
pretty.
would think
Yeah.
that guys like that, if they really want to get the girl, show confidence and be
Yeah.
sure of yourself.
Confidence takes you a long.
Oh my God. I would be like,
way.
you are so
I
sexy.
feel like it's just for me, it's just ability, intelligence. Intelligence has always been
Well,
incredibly attractive
that's
to me.
facts.
So it's like,
Yeah.
if a man, and this is because if I say I have been duped with the intelligence, where it's just like, oh my God, and then I'm just like, he's like, haha, and I'm like, oh God, you tricked me. This isn't cool. This
Gotcha.
this isn't great. This is not great. This is the
Got
opposite
him.
of great. I'm not having fun,
Yeah.
right? So, but intelligence is something that I find incredibly attractive. And
Yeah.
if a man approaches
love
me
that.
with high intel, like he's using, high quality words and communication, like, hey, how are you today? Like, how are you doing today? Let me start a conversation about X, Y, and Z.
But he's confident in his
And he's
intelligence.
and he's
right?
and he's confident in his ability to speak and to articulate himself clearly,
Mhm.
and how he comes at you, just like a woman would probably need to be the same. So it's like, I feel like if you approach a man in a certain way as a
Yeah.
woman, right? Like I can't speak from a man's perspective, but what's a way that a woman would approach you like that would be attractive versus unattractive? And this is where it's like I kind of look for like the male insight. Okay, like I know what a woman, like women typically kind of find appealing, but it's like from a man's perspective, how would a woman be considered palatable to you, right? If she's coming, like how would a woman approach you if you even want a woman to approach you, right? At
No,
all? How would that be?
no, most women won't approach.
In an environment that she would, let's just
Well-
say, for example,
well,
like, what would be considered appealing?
No, I
versus
think
not?
if you want to keep it realistic, most women are not going to approach. But what you can do, I know I'm saying most. I'm saying most. I'm
it's
saying
not
most.
a commonality, is what you
Yeah,
need to say.
So what I'm saying is what you can do, and this is my experience, and I've been talking to a lot of guys. You can be very opening and friendly. You can invite a man to approach you.
Receptive
Yeah.
and kind and
Right.
friendly.
So I think a lot of girls, because as guys, like when we see women, like we have to kind of we have to observe
Yeah,
that
analyze it,
we have to
observe.
observe that you're approachable.
Um,
So if you're very approachable, very friendly personality, very opening, that you're open to talk, that invites us to encourage us. Okay, I'm going to approach you because I can see that you're very open. But there are a lot of women out there that are very closed off.
Oh,
You can just tell by their demeanor and their
Yeah.
personality, the resting bitch face,
Yes, and it's like, why are you even there if you're not even good with her?
right? So
If you're not even
I understand in
good-
public. I understand that if you're in public, you're just trying to do what you have to do in public. What I'm saying is, if you're going to a social setting where there's a lot of men out there that you would date, a lot of men and women, the best thing you do is just be very opening and have a very friendly personality and demeanor. So that way, if a lot of guys can say, okay, she's very approachable, she's very talkative, I see an opening, I'm approach. But for us, if I see a girl that's very closed off, that you can tell that she doesn't want to talk to anybody, and just not only her body language but also her face. A lot of guys like, I don't want to waste my time with.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't
Right.
Sometimes
either.
that's assuming though, because like some people are like anti or like shy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like you have to kind of.
I have like an
Well-
autopilot smile. So I have like the opposite of the resting bitch face.
Yeah.
People that when I don't want to be approached, they're just like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, what do you want?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like I have like that autopilot smile. I think it's all those years being in customer service.
And also with the experience, one thing a lot of men have noticed, especially if you're confident in approaching women, is that usually when women find a man very attractive, they'll make themselves open to let you know. They'll give off like signs, like eye
Yeah.
contact,
Yeah.
or they'll move
The eye
closer to
contact is
you,
what I
Yeah.
or they'll
hate.
smile, like they look at you and smile. But then it's very these are things that we figure out as guys. Okay, these are cues that we can see that she's attracted to me, and then this is an opportunity for approach. But if we don't see you make any eye contact, or your body language is open, or you're looking my way, it's very closed off. That we know. Okay, I don't want to waste my time because she's very closed off.
I definitely do that.
I mean, do you guys
have
do
somebody
that?
approach me, I make eye contact with them.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when you guys are around somebody that's attractive, like do you guys like open yourself and look this
I
way?
do.
Eye
I
contact?
smile.
We
Smile,
smile,
right? Yeah,
We
smile,
smile
right?
together.
We
We
do it
smile at
together.
everyone. We smile.
Okay.
I'm
We
a
smile
very
at every
social
girl.
person.
And if it's somebody that I
just
don't want
wanna
to
have a good
approach me, I'm
time.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make a face
No,
when I don't want somebody to
definitely
approach me.
radiate like don't talk to me energy if I don't.
If,
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
somebody that
But
I
if
feel
I
is-
do,
yeah.
then I'm a little bit more like
Yeah.
easy.
if I
or, like,
feel the
gentle.
vibe of somebody that's very like, I know for a fact you're gonna come with some shit,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Versus somebody that, so it's like it's the difference between looking at somebody and being like,
Yeah.
right, or somebody like,
Mhm.
you know what I
know.
mean? So it's
Yeah.
like making the face, or being like, oh,
Right.
like
Yeah, like I'm open to talking to you.
And for guys, because we don't like to get rejected. A lot of guys, it sucks getting
Girls
rejected.
get rejected too.
Yeah.
It
I know,
goes
but most
both.
girls are not approaching. Most men are approaching.
I'm a person who will, if I see somebody that I think it's hard or I'm attracted to,
It's her type. She
my
goes
type.
for it.
I go for it.
It's
I'm
a
like,
rarity.
hi, what is your night looking like?
And she starts with, "What's your
Is it-
sign?"
is it-
Well, I start with what's your horoscope
What's your
sign?
horoscope sign?
Is it this point of your life, or have you always been this way?
I think I always been this way since
She's
'cause we
always
don't-
I've known her for a long time. She's always been like that since like day one, and she was in her 20s when I met her. Like
Yeah.
20s, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, question to the panel: how many guys have you approached?
I approach him.
Like how many?
I
I
would-
haven't been approached.
Like one? It has to say one in her life. Okay.
Like
I don't-
recently, just this recently,
or my
I-
whole life. My
Like your whole life, how many
I
men have you
would-
approached
I
in
would
your
say
life?
10,000. I'm joking.
Oh my God.
And
Is
that
it 10,000?
We're talking about 20 plus years, and then no, not joking.
No, but I have approached guys. I just feel like if you're interested in somebody, why are you gonna pretend to just wait for them to come up to you? If you're
Yeah.
interested, go for it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna get? What are
That's
you
what
gonna
I'm
lose?
saying.
Well-
When I was younger, I would wait for them to approach
Yeah.
me.
Uh,
But this time around, I wanted to do things different, and she
Well,
does that.
the
So
re-
now I
Yeah.
approach.
Nadia, how many times have you approached a guy?
I don't.
Never.
I feel
So,
like the
yeah.
only time that
Yeah,
I've
never.
approached a guy, it was because I wasn't romantically interested in him.
Me too.
So it's like if I'm the one that's approaching the man, it's mainly because it's just like I'm not interested in you in that way, and it's talking to you about something that has nothing to do with any kind
Yeah,
of.
no, I'm talking about
interest.
romantic interest.
None.
None?
Zero.
Lene?
Same answer.
None?
None.
Yeah, like
Not in that
most
way.
women is like
Don't.
0
It's
or
like-
1. That guy must have been hot if you approached him. Was he hot?
She's like, I don't know. I'm not gonna
I
say.
know. Well, spiritually speaking,
Mhm.
like,
Oh, was the guy at
it's
church?
It's not even no. But like, I think sometimes like you meet a person and like, there's like magnetism.
Yeah.
You get pulled towards. The person.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what that
Like
means.
that's.
Oh, it wasn't like you walking up to him. You just,
No, I was like pull it that way. I was like, I don't know why I'm pulled this way, but I'm gonna come talk to you.
the attraction.
Oh, okay.
You know?
That is
Like,
That's how I did
yeah.
it before.
That's really what it is.
That's
Like,
a
if
rarity.
it's not like if I'm not magnetically pulled towards you, I'm like I'm just gonna mind my
Oh,
own
yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like there's no reason chasing.
Facts.
Okay. No worries.
I agree.
All right. I have a question I want to ask you guys. So, we were talking about should men and women strive to be irreplaceable, not to get replaced. Do you guys find it attractive? Say you met a man that's strong standards and the man that you would date long term. Do you guys have a problem with them? Say you guys had like a disagreement, or maybe you did something that went against his beliefs and his value system and his standards, and he communicated to you in a very healthy, very direct way. Hey, look, this is something that I don't tolerate in my relationship. All right, we have to figure this out. You have to correct this. But just to let you know, if you don't correct this, I will walk away from you. I don't have a problem walking away from you, and I will find somebody else. Do you find that more attractive, a man just being upfront and very direct
I do.
and letting you know, look, I
do.
will replace you, but look, I want to be with you. I want to make this work, but you're doing something that goes against my very belief system, my values, and my standards. I don't tolerate this type of behavior. If you don't fix it, I will find somebody else.
Yeah, for the right.
Do you prefer that?
Yeah,
Does
I
that
agree.
does,
Yeah.
does
For
that
the right
respect you?
man,
Does that respect you? Does that respect? Do you find?
That
Do you
makes
respect
me
him more?
respect him.
You
I
him more?
respect him more because he was vocal, and also because he, he's letting me know he's communicating to me.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
Telling
not
me
gonna
what
get
he-
offended.
Yeah, because like
That's
we
what
can't
I'm
read
asking,
minds,
yeah.
right?
yeah, yeah.
So it's like we can't assume that they know what's bothering us. So it's like, and that's happened to me once before, and I had no idea, upset him. And when he told me, I felt like my whole world shattered. Like, I am so sorry. Please let me explain myself. And this is
Okay.
not, it was one of those things where because I really valued him as a person,
Okay.
that it was like, oh,
Yeah.
like it hurt.
Yeah.
It didn't
But
hurt.
that's
and-
why I want you to tell me.
It didn't hurt as in like my feelings are hurt that, he's calling me out. It was, I'm hurt because I hurt him. And
Yeah.
he's telling me that I hurt him in some way or made him feel X, Y, and Z in the negative when tied to me.
That he's willing to walk
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
like this was so severe that I need to step back. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
In that moment, I was just like,
This is a man right here.
I was just like, fuck. I was just like, what can I do right now? Because this was,
Yeah.
let me explain.
So that's happened to you.
Hear me out.
Has it happened to you before, Jessica? Man communicated
Yes.
effectively,
Yes, it
Let
has
you know.
happened to me.
and you
I
know,
had learned from it.
Yeah.
There's times where I was very stubborn. I'm like, will you take me as I am or not? And I didn't think he was going to walk away. And yeah, he walked away. And I learned from there that when good men come around, you can't take them for granted. And that helped me kind of like learn mistakes from there. But yeah, now I know that when they are serious and they're having that conversation directly with
Yeah.
me and
Yeah.
letting me know I'm not going to put up with it, I respect them more and I listen.
Yeah.
Because some people can say, okay, I'm going to change, but they're not really listening,
Okay.
just to make them stay because they really think
It's
that
an-
that's what they need.
Yeah, it's an
I want
ego
to tell
thing.
you, yes.
It's an ego thing. And when your ego's in it, when somebody's telling you like, oh, you made me feel like this, and you're just like, your first inclination,
I hate that.
is just like, oh, so I hurt your feel. And it's just like, okay, step back for a second. Because if
Yeah.
somebody's telling you that they felt betrayed by you in some way, or they feel
Mhm.
hurt by you in some way, and
Yeah.
they're communicating that to you,
You know.
it's not your place to say, no, it didn't.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But that's
You know what I mean?
That's part of what I was kind of saying earlier about the like no duh, because it's just like if I said it bothered me, I shouldn't have to tell you anything after that. Like, you hurt my feelings. I told you that, and the shit is still broken.
Can I respond real quick? There's a difference between that bothers me and the difference between I will never tolerate that again.
No, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Because if somebody said, that just bothered me, I'm like, oh, okay. But it's not like a deal breaker. Like if you let me know this is a deal breaker, if you do this again, I will leave you.
Mhm.
I think it emphasizes the change that you're looking for him to be more effective. But I think if you just say, that bothers me, it's not like an ultimatum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree
Okay.
with that.
Has it happened to you before, Gladys, that you said that? Before I ask that question, I want to get back to something that you said.
Mhm.
You said that you had the mentality like, just accept me as I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
A lot of women have that mentality, right?
Yeah. That I got humbled very quick after.
Yeah. Why do you think you had? Why do you think like how did you adopt that mentality?
Well, one, because I think my past traumas, I've been hurt and I wanted to prove myself. I gotta show them I'm strong and you're not
Yeah.
gonna get your way. So that's why I felt like, no, I'm gonna stand my grounds and I'm not gonna agree with what you're saying. You're gonna leave me that quick, then you must not love me. What I didn't listen there was he was expressing his feelings, how he was truly feeling. And I wasn't really listening. I was more focused on how he was making me feel that he was going to walk away.
Yeah.
And to me, it felt if you're walking away from me, and you're telling me already you will walk away, then you don't love me. So I was more focused on how he made me feel, but I wasn't putting myself in his shoes, how he was feeling too.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
lost him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask the panel real quick? Have you guys ever had that mentality in your previous life? Did I say life like you're immortal?
In the last life.
All right, no, and in the past, right? Have you guys ever had that mentality, like, men should just accept me as I am?
No, not really. Because, I mean, yes, but it was misplaced. So at one point,
Yeah.
And that was just because it wasn't a fully formed thought. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it was just like, yeah. And then I was like, wait a second. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
let me step back for a second.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
happened.
All right. Tyson, have you ever have you ever had that mentality, like, just a man should just accept me as I am?
I feel like I used to when I was younger.
Yeah.
Or at least like less mature. And I think there's this what is it? In the sake of positivity, I think that's kind of like the disguise. It's like, oh, for the sake of positivity, you should take me as I am, and blah, 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 blah. But I think when I realized just what that meant in terms of like, okay, what happens if you're a toxic person? That should not be tolerated at all.
Okay.
And so I think understanding where, like, if you truly love somebody and you want to love somebody authentically, it's understanding that they too have to change for the better.
Yeah.
And that goes both ways. But yeah, that was just lack of understanding and immaturity. And I think as you grow as a person, you understand, life in general, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. How about you, Lene? Have you ever had that mentality, a man should just accept me as I am? No, you're good. Okay, you're good. You're good.
I never.
I have a follow-up question that's related to that one question. Have you ever been with a man that was a simp?
What is that?
A simp, a man that just does everything you want him to do,
Oh no.
even if it goes against the very belief system and his standards.
No.
Have you ever been with a
I've
simp?
never been attracted to that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's not.
I don't think
Like guys with no boundaries, guys with no self-respect for themselves.
And if they don't have, again, and it goes a little bit deeper than that, right? So
Yeah.
it's like if somebody, like when people talk negatively about like simps, right? Like
Yeah.
simping behavior, and you have to get it right. Like what? Because some men have a very incorrect idea of what simping might be. So it's like, oh, I'm respectful to a woman. I hold the door open. Oh, you're a simp.
Oh no,
And
not
it's like,
that.
It's like,
No, a simp to
hold
me.
on.
Yes, a simp to me is like a man with no standards, no boundaries,
So
and you just walk all over him, but he still
Yeah.
stay with you.
if somebody doesn't have any boundaries
No.
or standards or anything like that, you have to think about the long term, what that's going to mean in a family environment as a husband.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you going to, with that kind of lack thereof, be able to defend and grow our family with me at all? Or are you, is it going to be like, let's just say, for example,
Maybe
I don't, but this
You
is
said
just
you
an
have?
example.
Yeah, I think I have, but not because I wanted to. Just like
Girl.
no, a long time ago. But there was a 10-year difference between me and him.
Older or younger?
I was older, he was younger.
Oh.
I was 32, he was 22.
Oh. He
But-
was simping for you?
Oh my God, yes. Like
Yeah.
he would do whatever, and I didn't even ask him, But that
Did
was
he-
one guy you couldn't even break up with.
Did he
Like,
come from a single parent household?
Yes.
Okay, he was looking for his mother. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that hurts.
All right. Okay. No, so now I do believe that there is a rhetoric out there in the narrative online that goes viral that women are being told that a man should just accept you as you are, and then you deserve everything in life. You're gonna get everything in life. So a lot of women have that belief system. So I think a lot of times what's happening is because you think you believe that men should accept you as you are. There are a lot of men out there today that they're not raised with good, strong values and standards, right? So what happens is you come across these guys, and these guys will do everything for you. And even though that you would disrespect them, even though you have a lot of toxic and negative behavior, and a lot of women are with those types of guys. But I think long term, it would turn you off because you don't respect them.
Yeah.
And I don't believe, I truly believe that as a woman, if you don't respect your man, it's hard to love your man.
Yeah.
If you know that, because you're looking for
Can't love
biological,
somebody that you don't
Yeah,
respect.
Yeah.
because biologically you're looking for strength, masculinity.
Mhm.
We're looking for masculinity, man. And if a guy that's acting weak or letting you disrespect him, that can come off to like a very feminine behavior for a lot of women. So that's why a lot of guys, that's the type of content they see. Not only the content that you see, but a lot of guys are being conditioned online. Hey, look, just accept everything a woman has, and you have a chance to be with them. And I think a lot of times, a lot of guys get confused, especially if she's very attractive. Oh, she's hot. This is my best chance to be with her. I'm just going to follow that narrative. But they find themselves in a situation, they get disrespected. And she eventually she's going to leave you for somebody else.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, I feel like that's, oh God.
And also,
Shit.
to respond to what Jessica said, I think that's why it's hard for a lot of women to make those adjustments and be accountable from their past relationships, because most of the guys in their past have always tolerated their bad behavior. They've never come across. You talked about a good man, right?
Mhm, good man.
For me, a good man is just by definition, it's just a man that stands by his values and his standards. That he doesn't tolerate disrespect.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of women are attracting guys with no standards, with no value system, and they tolerate all this disrespect, and that's what you're used to. And they finally come across a guy that's very direct and like, hey, look, this is bad behavior. I don't tolerate this. It's foreign for you to hear that type of message from a man, like being held accountable from a guy when you never had those types of men before in your life. So a lot of women will see that as a negative behavior, or will call those men, that's toxic masculinity. If a man tells me that I need to adjust my behavior to correct me, that's toxic masculinity. No, that's just a man being strong to his value system, but you just never experienced it. You've never been with a good man before, because all the men in the past were either simps, or they're weak, or they tolerate a lot of things, or they just told you what you wanted to hear just because they just want to have sex.
I think toxic masculinity is somebody that's not willing to hear the woman out on anything, because I'm the man. It's like, I'm not going to listen to you because I'm the man. And it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's a no.
Yeah,
No,
Okay.
thank you.
that's a big difference.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like, no,
Real
thank
man
you.
to a man that's just
Oh yeah, you see
nasty
what
Okay.
I've
rude.
Oh, all right. I do have a super chat from one from Calm Down Jack, Crusty Broke, and Gets No Cheeks. He said, what's up, everybody? Which of these ladies need a house husband? Anybody here looking for a house husband?
No.
No?
No.
No, looking for a house husband? Okay. All right. Next time, Jack, next time. But I do appreciate you always dropping support on the live chat. Thank you so much. David Cuevas. Hey, shout out to you, man. I've never seen you here before. So David, thank you for being on the live stream and on the chat. How do you, this is a question to the panel. How do you feel about guys that don't agree with astrological signs? Yeah, that's me. That's a hoax. Is that a complete turnoff, or do you respect the guy's opinion? A girl got angry with me because I told her my astrological sign is Jesus.
I think it's just, I feel like astrological signs are like fortune cookies. They're fun to read. Like I think that there might, I really don't fucking know if there's any truth to them or not. I enjoy reading them. I think it's cool to read up on like zodiac signs, but like if I ask a guy for a zodiac sign, he's just like, no, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, that's fine. It's not a deal breaker. I'm not gonna be like, you're trash because you're not telling me your zodiac sign. It's not something like, I feel like, okay, that's fine. And if people are like, oh, do you believe in zodiac signs? I think they're fun to read.
Let's be honest. Who here believes? I don't have a problem. Who here believes in zodiac signs?
I do.
But
I think
there's
it's
a lot.
fun in
There's a lot to go
I
into.
think it's very
that,
fun. I think it's very fun in conversation.
There's a lot
She
to go
really
into
believes
that.
in it. But she tends to be really right.
Reading up
Okay,
on
so-
like the history of zodiacs is really
This is.
interesting,
I have
too.
curiosity. So you two believe in zodiac signs?
Yeah.
Do you turn away a man just because of his zodiac sign?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because, like I said, there's a lot that goes into that. Like, it's not just black and white, like everybody
Or
kind of pans it out.
maybe-
Oh, you're a Cancer? Absolutely
Wait.
not.
Different question.
No.
Do you have?
No. Oh my God.
Do you have do you have negative pre-assumptions based on his zodiac sign?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Well, she doesn't like respond to it, but she does.
Yes, you do.
Well,
Tell me why. So you meet somebody for the first. What's the sign that you have negative pre-assumptions for?
Aries.
Aries. Okay, so you meet a guy that's very attractive, and he's husband material, but he's the Aries. What's the negative pre-assumptions that you have about him?
Well, I will hope that we can get along because in my experience, well, I'm not gonna reject him because he's
She
an
won't
Aries.
reject him, but right away she's like, I
But
don't
it's
know.
just like I'm watching
got my eye on you.
watching you.
But what I'm saying is he hasn't shown any behavior to assume that, but,
But
you
you
have,
have
this
it in mind.
negative
Yes,
pre-assumption.
in the
yes,
foreground.
and most of the
That's me with Virgo.
yeah. Oh, are you Virgo? I'm Virgo.
I'm not a Virgo.
Oh, I thought you were Virgo.
I
That's
thought
how
that's
she feels
me
about
with
Virgos.
Virgo.
She's a Cancer.
Men Virgos.
Oh,
though.
men
Female Virgos seem to be pretty cool.
Oh, there's some gender discrimination
No,
right here.
no, but it is. It is. The gender matters. The gender
It's
matters.
very different.
Like it's very different.
Okay.
Like every guy I date, she's like, "What's his sign?" And I'll be like, "Pisces." She's like,
I
"Oh, he's
can't-
nice."
I don't know what is
but
it
this
about
and
him.
that and this and that. And
I
I'm like,
always
okay.
attract water signs. Pisces, Cancers, and Scorpios. Water signs.
Well, but let me get back to that negative pre-assumption.
Oh,
What are those negative pre-assumptions that you have about Aries?
Aries? Well, they're very controlling. It's their way or no way. They have a temper. Well, they have a temper, but they seem to kind of hold back on it. They don't want to show it.
Yeah.
I feel like
They're very smart. Don't get me wrong. They're very
responsible
smart, but because of it, they use their that comes to an ego. Like my way's the best way, and
Okay.
in my experience of the guys that I talked to, and that's why it didn't work out.
Okay. So ego, controlling, bad
Mhm.
temper,
Mhm.
and a big ego.
Yeah,
It just sounds like a toxic man, not a.
Yes. Okay. Well, maybe that's
Regardless of
what
what
that-
horoscope.
That just happened to be Aries.
Yeah.
They
just happened to be
collectively
Aries.
happen
Yeah,
to be
I've known a
Aries.
lot of other men with those different zodiac signs
Yeah, and they're different zodiac signs. That's
that
what I
just have that same pattern of
I think it's
behavior.
hilarious when guys are just like, I hate zodiac signs, but they know everything about the zodiac signs.
Isn't that
Mhm.
funny?
You know why they have? You know why they know, right?
Because the women ask
Yeah,
them.
exactly. They're
I
trying
think
to-
it's so funny that they're
Yeah.
just like, I can't stand zodiac signs. And
Mhm.
Aries.
That's how we build conversation with you. You gotta know something
That's
that you
what I
like.
do.
I use
think
them
that's
as
adorable. Guys are just
conversation
like,
starters.
I don't believe in it.
because I
They're
think
just
it's
like,
funny. It's a
I'm-
nice
Yeah.
trigger.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to
Like,
lie
wow.
about my zodiac sign.
What is your zodiac sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh,
Are you
he's an
lying
earth
about being a
sign.
Capricorn?
No.
I'm a-
In previous days,
Are you lying
because I
about
knew
being
women
Capricorn?
like that stuff. So I'm like, I'll tell them the ones that has positive
Oh
pre-assumptions.
wow.
So I know they don't like Aries, and I know they don't like Scorpios. I know, so I never said those.
See, I don't care.
I've dated.
Yeah.
them.
She knows. I don't care. I
Cancer. I think Cancer was
I
one of
just
them.
date them.
I'm Cancer.
But like you
Alright.
said, if they're toxic, they're toxic.
Yeah,
It don't
Yeah,
matter.
It's not gonna
That's why I
matter.
said like zodiac signs aren't the factor, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's what people
How they
try to.
treat you
that,
matters.
That's why people don't like the zodiac sign fucking conversation
Yeah.
because everybody makes it seem like, oh, if you're a Scorpio, then
We're
you're this
unlovable.
way.
Suck.
And you know,
If you're a Gemini, you're a whore, and you're just like,
Yeah.
no.
You're like, you don't want to
yeah,
get to know
I don't believe in it in that.
Yeah.
That may be
capacity.
true. I'm joking. I'm joking. All the Geminis out there.
Me, a Gemini, sitting here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I had a question on that's I think was a point that Tyson made, right? So we did discuss. Okay, say you meet a man that's the husband material, future husband, has the quality standards that you're looking for, and you understand that he's the type of man that a lot of women would want to be with, but he chooses to be with you. I remember in the past beginning of this podcast, you said something about pick me, being a pick me, right?
I hate that
So
term, but it's
from Matisa, you said something that I think was very profound. I think you said that you have to work if you find like the good men that most women want, right? We understand that that's very rare in today's dating culture, right? When there's a lot of weak men out there with no standards or they don't stand by their standards, right? So if you happen to come across a man with the strong value system and standards and he has good leadership skills, a lot of women will have the mentality, look, I understand that this is a man that I want. And I want to become a woman that's irreplaceable for him. And also I don't want to be the type of woman that he wants to be, that he would want to replace. So a lot of women will put in the work and do the things, the marriage mindset, their marriage mentality, the way they conduct themselves, the behavior, the demeanor, the personality. They'll work on those things because they understand that these are the type of qualities that these types of men are looking for, because they want to attract that outcome. And a lot of women do, right? And they get wifed up and they get taken off the dating market. A lot of women would criticize those women or shame those women as, oh, that's just a pick-me girl.
which, and I have to add
Yeah.
that it was more so the way that the woman in the video was putting it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
No, I
it was
agree.
that kind of like Pearl.
Yeah.
You know that?
Just pearly things.
Oh God, she.
Because I was
irritates me.
following her until she said a certain thing. And I was like,
I was
okay.
just like, I don't
Okay.
like a single thing that you're saying because it seems like you're just saying it in that video. The way the girl was saying it, it sounded like it wasn't something that she
Scarcity?
genuinely
Yeah.
believed. It sounded like she was saying what she thought men wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between the way that you put it, where it's like
Yeah.
it's a genuine, this is what I believe. And I believe it because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Versus somebody that you can kind of tell like they're just saying it because it's something that somebody might want to hear.
Okay, I can agree with
That's
that.
where I'm
I can
coming
agree.
from when I say
can
like
agree.
pick me. I don't mean a pick, and I will never criticize a woman or anybody for having certain standards for who they want to be, how they want to be that person, and how they want to attract a partner. Because at the end of the day, how that person wants to attract their life partner, their husband or their wife,
Mhm.
is going to be how they do it. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
it's not my place to, really say anything.
Yeah.
That's why I don't really like the term pick me, because I
Yeah.
feel like it
Yeah.
really denotes a heavy negative connotation
Okay.
towards
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
But for lack of a better word, it's just I feel as though somebody like that is not coming from a genuine place of, I'm saying this because this is what I believe.
Okay.
I'm saying it because I think that this is something that a man might want to hear. And it feels like a trick. Like I am trying to trick you into something because I think it's what you want to hear. And the second that I feel like I got you, I might switch up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think that that's whack.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else want to add on? Do you guys agree with that or disagree with that?
With the irreplaceable thing?
No, like there's women out there. You guys are all heard the term "pick me girl," right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You don't want to be like it always has a negative connotation to it. But what I'm saying is there's women out there that know what type of man and quality type of man they want,
Mhm.
and they know what these men are looking for, especially when it comes to a wife,
Yeah, yeah.
and they actively, intentionally put in the work to become that wife material for that man.
Yeah.
Because they want to become irreplaceable to that man, and also they want to become the type of woman that he won't replace. Do you
And
guys?
after that, I do it right away. When
Yeah.
it's the right guy,
Yeah.
I start showing wifey, like I start being that. I feel comfortable, especially if they make me feel safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
Like I start showing that wifey character, like the GF characteristic right away.
Mm.
Like
You don't,
and I really do change myself because I mean, there's one guy I recently dated, and she knows
Mhm.
I stopped everything for 2 months
Oh, okay.
right away because he showed me the qualities that I
Mhm.
was looking for. Right, so he made me feel like, okay, I could trust you. Okay, you're that guy I'm looking for. I
Yeah.
mean, he hit every nail
Okay.
on the head. So as soon as he showed me that, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna stop going. I don't need to go out. I don't need to do anything. I'll be at home and I'll answer your call and I'll text you and I'll keep you informed. What am I doing when my work, and we started getting personal, like.
Yeah.
But then there's what she said, they bamboozled you. Yeah, I got bamboozled. But I did change it when I feel it's the right guy. I start right away with those qualities, and if we pursue it further, then I start doing the wifey thing. Like, what do you like to eat? What do you? I'll wash their clothes. I'll do all kinds of
because
stuff.
it comes from a place of love.
Yes.
And it's something that, and I feel like many people might feel it here. It's like when you feel like you have a lot of love to give,
Yes.
but you don't feel safe enough, or you haven't felt safe enough to give that love yet.
Mhm.
So it's like, do I want to be, because I'm kind of a loner in the sense that it's just like, I just go to work and I come home.
Mhm.
I occasionally go to my friend's house for game night and we literally play fucking board games. I know that kind of sounds a little like whack, but like I like my solitude. On my weekends, I'm reading in my
Mhm.
room because I just like my solid. Like I know that my body can't tolerate alcohol. I get really bad headaches, I get migraines, and then I break out in hives. So it's like I feel like my body fucking rebels. But do I downplay anybody that enjoys those things? No.
No.
But it's when you feel safe, and when I bring you back to my point, when you feel safe to show those qualities, right? When you just like, I have a lot of love in my heart that I want to be this kind of a partner with somebody, right? When you feel safe, you want to do those things. And somebody mentioned like, oh, why doesn't why don't men, and I think we might have saw the same comment, why don't women just say that they want to please their man? It's just like, I am more than happy to say that I want to please a man. I want to love a man. I want to be that woman for a man that is worthy.
Yeah.
That's not going to come automatically, just like women would have to work for it, right? And work for it in the sense that, and I don't mean, when I say when a man has to work for it, I don't mean like sex. I don't mean like he's working
The way you're treating me.
Yeah, I'm saying like working to be deserving of the love and warmth and openness that I do not readily give to every man that might solicit me. So it's like, if I'm not responding to every DM, like I said, I'm not responding to every DM like, oh my God, you're talking to me, you're a man, I'm going to give you all this love and respect, I'm going to bow down to you because you're a man. No, it's just like a woman would need to work hard to be, I guess, seen as somebody like a valuable partner, I guess. A man of a high value man, right?
Yeah.
High value man would do the same in the sense that he is going to make her feel safe and loved in an environment where he's courting her. So it's like, there's no question of, I feel like you're talking to other women, or I feel like you're sleeping around with
You
a lot of other
trust
women.
them.
Yeah.
It's just, there's, and I've felt it before. I feel like almost every woman has. You feel it when a man comes into your hemisphere and you just feel it's not something that they're specifically saying to
But it
you
becomes
verbally.
mutual. You want to make each other feel safe.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
And men, the way that men feel that is different than women, right? So men feel that security in a different way than women do. So like women, and I can't even really pinpoint it myself, it's just an energy that fucking certain men bring into it. And it's just like, it's not that you're saying anything specifically, it's just the vibe that you're bringing to the table. The way that you're speaking to me, the way that you're making eye contact with me, the way that I just feel like you got it handled. If I have a question for you, you're going to answer that question. Like if I'm just like, hey, I'm confused about X, Y, and Z, he's going to be there to clarify it. If he asks me a question, I'm going to feel safe answering that question.
Yeah.
So it's like, if he's like, well, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? And you're going to just feel like not scared or nervous. You're just going to be like, I would like to be that.
I had a quick question before we conclude. You mentioned something before that you said that it depends on the man that you meet, right? So if you meet a man and you deem him worthy to be husband material, then you would do all those
Oh
things
yeah,
for
I
him,
changed
right?
it 100%.
Okay, so do you guys? That's one of the criticisms a lot of men have against the women in today's dating market. A lot of women would say, I'm not going to do any wife duties until I meet a husband. All right. Do you guys agree with that, and why?
Well, what's the expectation? Like, what are you expecting? Like, are you providing some kind of, declaration that this is what you want? Because if a man, and that's why we say that we've been bamboozled, and some guy said like, oh, that means that she's just fucked a lot of guys and they were not the right guy. It's just like, no,
that's the mentality. Well,
yeah, and that's a very, and this is where I say, and there's some men that believe like, oh, men don't have compassion, we don't have feelings, we just do this, and I'm just like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Not all men are like that.
The reason why men, well, I don't, I don't think it has nothing to do with sex. I think it comes down to being accountable for your selection of the men in your past. So I've heard a lot of women would say, I will never act like a wife until I come across a man that's worthy to be my husband. And the problem with that is the thing is, that means that you don't act like a wife every single day of your life. Itasa brought up a great point, like a wife mentality, right?
Yeah.
If you have a wife mentality and you act like that way in your life, it's something you do every single day of your life. You still go to work. I'm not saying you can still go to work, do everything that you want to do, but you can tell that you have a system that you act accordingly because you understand that this is how a wife moves.
It's
and then just like the husband, right? I don't act like a husband until I get married. You act like a husband. That's a quality of being a good husband every single day of your life until you find a wife.
It's the qualities that you naturally have. It's
So
something that
for me, I'm naturally have that wifey mentality because I'm still raising like my little kid. She's 9. I have an older daughter and she's raising herself, thank God. But the little one, I'm still doing all that, washing her clothes, doing her, clean. You make sure she has food. Whatever she needs. So I'm I'm just staying there
Yeah.
right now. When it comes to guys, I don't quite open myself up until I know they make me feel safe. If they make me feel safe, then that wife mentality, I start giving them that.
What is can you expand on
Like
when
I
it makes
know
me
they're
feel
not
safe?
coming like they're
Makes
coming
yourself-
proper. They speak well. When I'm saying speak well, is they're not coming at you with like interest and just sleeping with you.
Oh, okay.
You're having intellectual
he's
conversations.
He's courting you with intent.
They're courting me when wanting to know about myself, my kids. Oh, where do you work? How long you been there?
Okay.
It's a different conversation that you're having
Yeah.
with them versus you meet someone else and they're like, "Wow, what's up?
Can I hang out with you at midnight?
Want to hang out?
Yeah,
What are you gonna do after
you send me a
this?
picture?
You know,
Oh,
send me a picture.
Yeah.
Like
Get away
those,
from me.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, those are the ones that you're like, what?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
blocked. Literally, the block
Yeah.
button has never been
Yeah,
so
those
great.
are kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I think I'm good.
the reason why I think that a lot of men find that a problem because I'm not gonna do any wife duties until I meet a husband. That's like me saying, coming up to you, look, I'm never gonna act like a husband
Yeah.
until you prove to me that you're the right person. So for me, is you're already gonna act this way. People who intentionally want to become husbands, women who intentionally want to become wives, they act this way already,
Mhm.
right? And then and you're gonna attract the people that you exemplify for yourself. But I think from the man's perspective, how can I really know that you're a wife material if you're not showing that behavior? Even about me dating you, you should already act this way about me dating you.
Yeah.
But if you're only gonna switch it until we go to something long term, that shows me like inconsistency in your behavior. Like, is that really how you want to act, or are you just doing this because you want to get married?
Yeah.
And also the second thing that comes to a lot of guys' mind is if you only want to date husband material, only want to do wife duties for until you meet a future husband, that just shows me that a lot of the men that you dated before, you didn't put that standard on them.
Mhm.
So you never required them to become husbands, but now because all the bad experiences, all of a sudden you want to do that until you meet a virgin man. So that shows me, like, okay, there's a problem in your selection and on how you choose men. So is that something I really want to consider, especially if you want to date somebody long term?
You see, for me, I've had 2 serious relationships.
Yeah.
And the 2 I've had, that's what I'm saying. I committed to him. First one's 10 years. I had a
Yeah, yeah.
daughter with him. That's my oldest.
Yeah.
And I did the wifey material. He had his lunch every morning, fresh sometimes. He'd wake me up because he would go in at 6, wake me up at 4. He had his fresh breakfast. That's what he wanted.
Yeah.
Right. His lunch pack. Clothes was not ever dirty. House was always clean. And I was also going to school.
Yeah.
So I was working full time, going to school, and he was getting all that.
Yeah.
You see, but then he decided to cheat on me constantly.
Oh, okay, that's different. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much you could take when you're fine and say, okay, I'm done. Right. And then the second one, same thing. I was there. We met at work, same thing. Same thing. We get married. I buy a house. He decides to cheat with my neighbor.
That's crazy.
So, you know what I mean?
well,
So
and
it's
the
like,
neighbor.
and I'm doing all this house. He was a house husband at the time. He would do like work on the side, and he decided to raise our daughter. But he did do work on the side. But you see, then he decides to.
I mean, I don't want to get into your personal life, but those 2 men in the past that cheated on you, with those men that you would consider, I mean, being self-reflecting, not looking back,
Yeah.
with those men that you would consider that men that had strong moral standard and values, also were very
The first
they were a
one-
leader. They were a leader in the
The
relationship.
first one was,
Yeah.
he was very, he also worked where I worked. He was very about like taking care of the house.
Okay.
I take care of this. I pay the bills. Don't worry about anything. He was very, also, he would, he would buy me stuff. Like it was
Did he make
Mother's
up
Day.
for-
It was a big gift,
But he just cheated. Yeah.
He just thought, but he was very, he had this old fashioned masculinity thing to him where he thought, because all his uncles, were Hispanic, and
I don't want to say Hispanic, but most of them have that
Yeah,
mentality
there's
that
a
woman should
mentality
only
that
be
he was
faithful and
raised-
put up with the man.
that he was raised that the man could do that and the
Still have a
right
family.
woman and
We
still have a
still- oh, okay.
family, and I should
You just put up with it
because when we
we're
broke
not
up,
gonna
that
do
was
it.
his thing.
Yeah.
He said, but I give you everything, I paid for,
He
like
cheated on me.
he goes, this is just how we are. I'm always gonna cheat, but you're always gonna be my wife.
Okay.
You see, so
Oh, that
See?
hurts.
Does anybody here tolerate cheating from a man?
No,
No.
because they stepped
Deal
out.
breaker?
They stepped out of the relationship
Yeah.
to solve a problem that you should have solved within
Okay.
each other, between each other. They
All
stepped
right.
out.
I just want to add something as well. Like I remember this came to my head real quick, but more so is like the saying of how an individual does anything is how they do everything. And and the thing is, like, I just wanted like to speak to on that is like if he cheated on you twice or whenever,
Mhm.
there are instances, if you look back in his life there, that he cheated in, whether it's at work or at
Mhm.
business.
Mhm.
And that's the kind of thing where you have to have some kind of discernment to just see a person's character and the decisions that they make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just
And that's why courting is so important.
Mhm.
Taking
Yeah.
your time to
Yeah.
get to know somebody because you're getting to know their character. You're
Yeah.
getting to know their family background, right? So
Yeah.
where do they come from? Like, where does your family, how does your family feel X, Y, and Z? How
Yes.
are your parents with each other? How do you view relationships based on the relationship that you saw between your mom and your dad?
Mhm.
Right? And all those things are important. That's why it's important to take your time and get to know somebody, let them get to know you, have them ask you the right questions. So somebody mentioned like, oh, women always say that they want to feel safe, but they never elaborate on what
Yeah.
that is. Right. And it's just like, first of all, it's going to be a little bit different for every person on what they feel is going to make them safe. But personally, I feel safe with a man when he is communicating with me, when he is coming direct with me,
Yeah.
when he is being honest and
Intentions.
intentional,
Yeah.
very intentional. So those things breed a sense of security and safety. And it's not about, is he throwing stacks at me? It's
Yeah.
like, no, that's not what it's about. I mean, yes, finances, you have to be able to support yourself in this monetary world, right? I get that. I'm not saying that finances are not important. Ambition is very important. Do I expect to marry somebody that has 6 figures off the bat? No. But I feel like a man should have ambition.
Okay.
So the ambition to chase something great for
All right.
himself.
All right. No worries. Thank you so much. I just have for the last part of the pod. I do want to get your feedback on the bear versus man conversation. I saw this viral thing online. It was this whole conversation between men and women. If you come across a man or a bear, what do you choose? So I saw this funny clip of this girl. She was talking about that topic, and I'll come back to you guys.
With the bear attack, I won't have to see the bear at family reunions. The worst thing the bear can do is kill me. The bear sees me as a human being.
These are like women's comments.
After what those men did to that monitor lizard, the bears are not safe with men either. The bear doesn't get enjoyment out of it. The bear didn't pretend to be my friend for months beforehand. No one will say that I liked the bear attack. No one will talk about the bear's bright future. If the bear and the man both want to hurt me and I scream loud enough, there's a better chance that the bear will actually run away. A bear wouldn't film it and send it to all his friends. The men getting angry at this don't realize that there are fates worse than death. Ask Junko Furuta, Sadie Robinson, Shanann Watts if they would choose the man or the bear.
Okay, so anybody can respond. I just wanted to play this one real quick before we conclude the pod. It was just whole thing going viral online. So I'll pass it to you guys real quick. If you happen to go into the woods and you 2 outcomes, you can either be with the bear. We're talking about a full-grown grizzly bear, or be with a strange adult man that you don't know. Which one do you take?
The bear.
You took the bear.
Yeah.
Itaisa?
The bear.
The bear.
The
I think
bear.
the guy.
Then you took the guy, the strange guy.
I'll
Okay.
take the strange.
The
guy.
stranger. The
Like
stranger.
you say, you can't outrun a bear, but you could outrun a guy in case he works out bad.
I might
Okay.
be able to outrun the guy.
I
You
think-
can't outrun the bear.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I go with the
Yeah.
strange old man.
Strange old man. Okay.
Oh, I feel like I have two. Like I said, there's a lot of factors in there,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, it's never that simple.
Yeah.
It's never that simple. The bear or the man, okay. Is this man actually, like in this scenario, is the man actually going to legit hurt me? Like, are in this scenario, are we choosing like, for sure, both are going to hurt you. You have to choose which is going to hurt you.
That's what I'm
Because
assuming.
if you're choosing who's going to hurt you, right? It's like, okay, if I have the choice between the bear and the man and both are definitely going to hurt me,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? I mean, shit. That is a messed up scenario.
Yeah.
That is a messed up scenario that I hate conceptualizing. And, you know, what she said, and she was reading off those comments, you know, those are women's true experiences, right?
Yeah.
So women that have had those things happen to them, right? So it's like I mean, I don't know.
But
Some
you
people
would still walk alive
some people would
and
rather
learn from those
Well,
lessons.
yeah, the way I see it is with the guy,
Some people
you
would-
still walk
he might-
alive.
I mean,
Maybe
who,
you get hurt a little bit just in
some people would rather die though. Some people would rather die than be like,
Yeah.
you know, violently,
tear apart.
yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like some people would rather die at the hands of a bear than have somebody that they don't know violate their
Violate them. Yeah. Physically
it's like-
assault them. Yes.
Yeah, so assault them and take away their power and for a pursuit of emotional pleasure, because the goal of rape is not the sex, it's the power.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's the power associated with I can overpower you. So it's like a bear is just like, I'm kind of hungry. So you seem like a good prospect. I haven't come across anything particularly yummy.
Analogy, if you think about it, just feelings wise,
Mm.
they're both gonna tear you up. They're gonna tear you up. Either you go with the guy and it works out good, and
Yeah.
you start dating him. I mean, he might break your heart, but at least you survived it.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Because we live and
You live and learn. You got to
Yeah,
take
yeah.
guys'
That's life,
experience,
right?
learn from it.
I
move
think
on
I
and
think
go on.
you guys might be talking from like a healthy consensual perspective
Yeah.
versus somebody like assaulting you.
I think
And
for
that's where
me,
it
it's
comes from.
kind of like just talking out experience. You know, even like right now, I'm trying to find the man, right? I know I'm gonna get hurt getting out there, but if I don't get out there, how am I gonna find him?
Well, yeah. I think
Right,
I think
so-
the argument though with the man versus a bear is like the man coming from an assault perspective.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
would you rather have a man assault you or a bear kill you? And that's where
Mhm.
you know, like
Or a man just can be a good guy.
Yeah,
or
you
the
just be
or
a
the,
guy.
or the
But
man
you
could
don't
be a good guy,
know,
but the man
right?
could be
That's
a
what I'm
good
saying.
guy.
That's
you
my
don't
thing. You
know.
don't know.
But
You
in
could
that
be an awesome guy.
perspective, right? In that perspective, in the video, she's talking about, you know, all these women that are commenting on their experience where they were assaulted by men. And
Is that what the
that's
video?
where the
Yeah.
man versus
Is that
bear.
what the video is?
Yeah. There's a, yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just it was somebody that posted it. I think on Twitter. It was a question: would you rather be with a man? If you were in the woods and you saw a stranger, would you rather be with a stranger or would you rather be with the bear? Majority.
But was she assaulted? That's my thing.
Well, you don't know. It's just
Oh, okay. So it's just an
it's
assumption.
an assumption.
Okay,
It's
then
a-
if you're reading the comments,
Mhm.
everybody
Those are
you
people
can
that have
tell
been hurt. for
those are
sure.
you can
Mhm.
tell there's hurt in those people's
Yeah,
comments.
yeah.
There's experience that they've had, right? So for me, thank God I haven't, right? I mean,
Yeah.
even the things that happened with my ex, I don't hate them.
Yeah.
I ain't holding anything against them.
Okay.
I'm learning from it and I've moved on.
I have a question for you. So say, I mean, I know most of the comments were just women just saying that most of the guys that they had an assumption that most guys are going to be bad and have bad intentions, right?
Mhm.
So who do you think that's better? It's a better opportunity for you to survive a bear that has bad intentions. Of course, that bear is going to rip people apart,
They're gonna
Yeah.
kill you. Bear's
or
gonna kill you.
or a man that has bad intentions. But there is still a possibility that you can figure out a way to get out of it. You can finesse him, you can manipulate him, you can say something, or you can just physically fight him off. But there's zero chance of manipulating that bear to
Yeah.
convince that
You got
bear.
better options.
That bear is gonna kill you.
Getting away.
Yeah.
There's no way you can
Yeah.
overpower him
We
physically.
know she's charming. She'll
Yeah.
get out of it.
It's an animal, so your charms don't work on the bear. Your sex appeal does not work on the bear, or else you can manipulate and convince the bear. So you're gonna die a very horrible death with the bear. But if the guy has a bad intention for you, there is still a possibility for you to do something through manipulation, through small talk, through finesse that you can, or
To get out of
you
that
have to get out of situation. What do you think? Would you still choose the bear?
Sorry. I just don't know.
If you could finesse your way from surviving. the
I'm not gonna lie, I'm just kind of still on the bear. Cause I'm like, a guy could try to kill me too.
I know, but I'm saying is they're both going to kill you, right? They have bad intentions, but which one do you have a better opportunity to get out of? The bear. There's no chance of you convincing the bear if the
I
bear has
can
an
kill the
intent to
bear.
kill you. Sorry.
I can kill the bear.
A grizzly bear?
I can see that happening, right? Because I feel like
Lene,
no, like I feel like
can you fight off what's those guard dogs?
Rottweilers?
No, the German shepherds. Can you fight off a German shepherd if a German
It's a
shepherd?
possibility.
A grown German Shepherd would tear you
Who
apart.
says I just
No,
have
they
to use
survival.
me?
I've seen.
Huh?
I had
Who says I
a
have to
German
just
Shepherd.
use
They
me?
attack.
I could
and
use
then when
something
they lock
around
them, they
me.
lock in. It's really.
I'm saying,
Thank God
I
not
could
to
kill
me.
them. I would.
So we're
okay.
talking about survivability. So you're saying like, would you rather take your chances with trying to finesse the dude to let you go and
And would
not
it-
hurt you,
And would
or
it
would
be
you-
body
or
or
would you-
weapons?
or
Because
would
I'm
No, you
not
have no
gonna
weapons.
lie, I
There's
don't
no
feel like
weapons.
I could
No,
live
yeah.
with myself
Got better
killing a
chances.
human, bruh.
I mean, see,
but they have
that's
to be
what-
self-defense.
that's where it's a
Huh?
loaded question though. That's a loaded question. You know what I mean?
I mean, a bear is 500 pounds.
Yeah, I could
full-grown
still kill the bear
You
though.
can't kill the
I
bear.
could kill the bear.
How?
I could kill. The
I mean,
bear.
I think like, okay, a bear is an animal. A
Yeah.
human, a man is a human being.
Yeah.
So the level of consciousness is definitely different
Yeah.
between an animal and a human being.
Because
So
go ahead.
I just want to say
No, 'cause I was gonna
that
let me know how you're gonna kill the bear. With no weapons.
I just want to.
Go.
Well, okay, a bear is a lot more predictable because it's animal in nature. Okay, so a human being is different in the sense that in terms of consciousness, you're able to utilize our environment and adapt in terms of like, okay, maybe I could use certain things, poison or something, and feed it to the bear.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll die.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we're able to do that. But if I were to trust a stranger, a human being, we do not know where the level of evil or good that person is coming with because
Exactly.
like it's a human being.
No, that wasn't my question. Was if both the bear and the man have bad intentions, they both want
the
to.
bear.
Who do you have a better chance to
The
to
bear.
get out of?
The bear.
Oh.
The better, if we're talking about
I would say bear
You
just
could
because
finesse
they're
your way
more
with it,
predictable.
if we're
That's
if we're talking about survivability, you have to understand
Like,
what
we
level of
survive bears.
survivability we're talking about.
I'm not saying
Because
I'm
it's
gonna
because
survive.
at that point, if I had to choose, undergoing like that traumatic ass event, I don't know. Like I
think
feel
I
like
would choose the
because for
man.
me,
I don't know.
I would choose the
because
man.
for me, right, I'm like,
Every
Okay.
time bear.
Number
hey, it's
one,
my height.
why am I in the woods with not strapped? Okay, I gotta be strapped. Listen, because I have to be some kind of strapped to
No,
go. into
I mean
the
that's
woods.
that's the scenario. That's the
Nah, but
scenario. You're in the
like-
woods, no weapons,
No,
and
You're
you
just
and you come
walking in the
across.
woods.
Yeah, no
Like, look,
weapons.
the average bear is 400 pounds.
I'd
Right?
rather kill
The
the
average
man
bear is
and-
400 pounds. They can run about 20 miles per hour.
listen,
34 miles
They
per
went
hour.
fast.
30
For me,
miles per hour.
that is
I'm
insane.
choosing the bear.
Scary.
I'm
They run
choosing the bear
fast.
because
But how you
because
say you can kill the bear? How?
I can possibly kill both.
The-
I can possibly kill the man.
If you
And I
can
can
No,
kill
I
the
agree.
bear, then you
I'm
can
not
kill
even
it.
for sure
And
I
that's
could kill the bear, but I can possibly kill the bear.
How?
I don't know. I'm not in the situation. Like there could be, I don't know. I could probably, I don't know right now. But with just like you said,
Yeah.
the bear is way more predictable in what can hurt it and what, can kill it.
Yeah.
Like the bear only has one strategy. You run at me and rip me apart.
Yes.
A human,
Depending on
has
where they bite
way-
you, you're gonna die immediately.
yeah, a human has way more strategies than a bear does,
But it's so
And-
you have better chance to
then-
survive with the human than the bear.
but I'm choosing the bear
Yeah.
because of me,
And then they're
right?
hungry.
If I'm having to kill
You're right.
something, if I'm gonna have to kill or try to kill one or the other, even though I would feel so bad for the bear, I don't think I could live with myself doing that to a human.
Do you know who Mike Tyson is?
Yeah.
Do you think you can beat Mike Tyson in a physical
No.
match?
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't
You have a better chance beating Mike Tyson than you have a better chance of beating the bear. That's
Listen. If I die,
you just
by
said
the-
that Mike.
if-
You have zero
listen,
shot with Mike
if I
Tyson.
die with the bear, I die with the bear. But I don't think that I can live with myself. And I would be like permanently traumatized either way. But I don't think I could live with my person knowing that I killed another person. Like
Even with self-defense.
no. Because I've been in a situation like that.
Okay, I mean that's fine.
You feel
That's
me?
fine, that's
So
fine. Okay. I'm
She's like, no.
just saying. What I'm saying is,
It's like, I'll take the bear.
you said that Mike.
Yeah.
You said like you would never have a chance to beat Mike Tyson. The Mike Tyson has zero chance with the bear. Even Mike Tyson would have
that's
a chance
fine.
with
Like
the
I
bear.
said, if I die by the bear, I die by the
Yeah.
bear. But I'd rather try. I would be remotely okay because that was an animal trying to kill me with no consciousness of who or what I am.
By the nature.
Yeah, that is its nature. You feel me? A human does not have the nature to just kill me for no reason.
You think about it, that question is, would you rather die physically or emotionally? Because some people are never the same after and after something like that. So
like
which one would you rather?
Even myself, I know for a fact I have zero chance surviving with the bear. I'm still trying to fight to the death, but I know I won't. It's never gonna. I'm gonna die if the bear charges towards me full speed and trying to kill me with bad
I
intentions.
would be like,
I guess the only way of knowing is we actually apply it.
No. It's we just talked about common sense. This is the common sense.
I know.
Like, take your chances with the guy. It's a better chance of survival. Then you're gonna die with the bear. A horrible death.
oh.
All right.
They might, if you're lucky, they might bite you somewhere where you die immediately. You never know.
Your best outcome with the bear, he just bites you in the head, so you're just done.
You feel me?
But if you eat you from the legs up, you're gonna feel that.
Yeah.
If you try to run, for sure he's going for the legs.
It's gonna be bad
first.
either.
Or the worst, you just eat your body and it leaves
so
you
bad
the rest of your
Oh
body.
man, I hope. I'd be like, just take me now.
And you're alive, just dying a slow death.
Oh God, no.
Well, that sounds
That would
like
be
a
so-
situation. Bears are so cute, but they are.
I would
terrifying.
feel so bad if I killed an animal, bro. But like, I would still do that over a fucking human.
I hope that I'm never in that situation where I'm
Well,
fucking.
self-defense. I mean, this is a little bit different. I get you. You know, I wouldn't have a problem killing somebody if it was self-defense. You're trying to harm me, my family, you're done. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, you see, I was raised like that.
Yeah, I was.
I
also
would have been.
like that.
I'll sleep like a baby.
I
I
like,
was raised
bruh,
in the
like-
streets of LA, so that's
I'll
why.
sleep like a
Bruh,
baby.
and then too, if you're trying to kill a human, bruh, like they could try to start manipulating you, like I'm sorry, like and make you feel bad and shit. I'm like,
No, I'm talking about bad humans. If you're a bad human being, you're trying to hurt me.
I'm talking
Bruh.
about bad humans.
Yeah, I will sleep
Bruh.
good at night after I killed you.
I'll sleep good at night after I killed you.
that's fucked up.
I'm like, I did a service to
If
humanity.
you're
That needs to go on a t-shirt.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. Hey, it was a great conversation. The bear and the man. Just wanted to bring that up. It's something that I saw that was viral online. I see Christopher Hernandez on the live chat. Good to see you, Christopher. Gas mask, live, love, and pray. Nancy, I've never seen you here before, Nancy. Thank you so much for being on the live chat. Thank you so much. I saw a lot of new faces, but we've come to the end. Thank you so much for all the super chats. We had a great conversation. And don't forget, we do this every single Saturday. But I'll pass it to the ladies. Shout out to the ladies one more time. All right. Thank you so much. All right. And for all the fellas out there, man, we got to do better. So that way women have belief in men. So that way, if this conversation probably 20 years from ago, 20 years later, they will start choosing the man over over the bear. Jack dropped the super chat. This is just for support. Also, I'm a low-key trying to express that the intelligent, attractive woman to your left makes me want to commit to one woman again. She is so pretty. No homo. She needs a house husband or nah.
I want to be no homo.
Responding to you. I don't know. What's the response to it? It's talking about you.
I'm not looking for a house husband at this juncture in my life.
You're looking up for what? Provider, protector?
I'm just looking for somebody to work hard with, man. Yeah, I'm not looking to, support somebody that doesn't want to.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
All right.
Sorry.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you so much, Jack. But appreciate you guys. But I want to pass it to the ladies. Thank you so much for coming again. Lene, always good to have you back multiple times. I appreciate you, Tyson. Thank you coming back for a second time. But what's your final thoughts on conversation for tonight? We talked about should men and women strive to be irreplaceable or not to get replaced. Final thoughts and how can they find you? I'll start with you, Nadia. Go ahead.
Hi. Final thoughts were I really like this topic. I felt like, it kind of gives everybody, as usual, it gives everybody a chance to see things in a different way. And that's why we have these conversations. That's why people, because it's the opportunity to open yourself up to see different perspectives. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you are not willing to see a different perspective from somebody that might have different experiences than you, that might get you to see something a little bit differently, what's the point?
Mhm.
Right. So I think that We all had something to learn, on the comments. You're not going to make anybody all the way happy because otherwise you're just juggling. Like,
Mhm.
you can't say this, but you should do this, but you can't do this, but you can do that. I was like, okay, whatever. It's good. So, you know what? It was really nice meeting you guys and having a chance to talk to you guys. That was really fun. And if you guys want to follow me on either my podcast page or my personal page, my podcast page is The Unknown Podcast, or you can follow me on my personal page, which is Young Papacita. So YUNG and then PAPSITA.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nadia. That was great to have you. We did a virtual podcast together, so it's good to have you come to the studio, be part of the pod. I pass it to you, Jessica. Thank you for making the time, Jessica.
Mhm.
Final thoughts, and how can they find you, Jessica?
Well, at the end of the day, I feel that if you find the right man, it should feel natural for you to be the right woman for them. And I would say, sorry, I would just say just pretty much what I learned is that everybody has different experiences, different traumas. And at the end of the day, you just got to kind of learn and heal and pretty much just kind of stay true to yourself. And that's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much, Jessica. Pass it to you, Gladys. Thank you so much.
Jessica and Gladys.
Gladys, thank you so much for coming. But
Thanks.
final thoughts, how can
I
they
actually
find
had fun. And it was nice to see different perspective, different ages too.
Yeah.
That was kind of interesting because you could see the difference in everybody's opinion for things. But yeah, it was an interesting topic. I have to agree with Jessica. At the end of the day, if and when you find someone, or even for myself, it has to be fluent and it needs to flow nicely. And yeah, I would do that.
Yeah,
I would. I'll make sure I'm not irreplaceable if he's the right
Okay.
guy. I have no problem doing that.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. And Itaisa, second time on here. Thank you so much for coming back again. Final thoughts, and how can they find you, Itaisa?
Yeah, so final thoughts is just, yeah, definitely it takes work, on both ends. And I just, I agree with these ladies in the sense that, when it flows, it flows, I think, in addition to that, to just make sure that you bring your authentic self to the relationship, don't don't compromise on your boundaries and your values and whatnot. And you can find me on Instagram at it4is4 or on Facebook. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming back again. And Lene, always a pleasure to have you on the pod. I always enjoy my discussions with Lene. I love it. Final thoughts, and how can they find you, Lene? Those bear comments are hilarious right now.
I just like the conversation.
Yeah.
It was a good conversation.
Okay.
I think those are my only thoughts.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed the conversation. And everybody's perspectives. If you wanna follow me, I do music, Salane. It's sa.lanea.official. If you like this shirt, it's from Genreless, GENRELESS__. Salane, aka Miss Genreless herself.
Okay. Thank you so much. One more question I want to ask the ladies. We just had the conversation with the bear. Are you guys willing to change your perspective after the conversation? Then, no, before you would still choose the bear.
No, I still choose the bear.
You still choose the bear. Okay.
I'm still undecided. I'm undecided. I can't make a choice. It was just too bad. I don't want to.
Okay. Still the bear. Okay. Gladys. Jessica still the bear.
The man.
No, we said
The-
man.
oh, the man, the
Remember?
man,
You
okay.
already
The man.
forgot.
2 out of-
We said the man.
2 out of 5.
I'd rather
The man.
finesse the man
Yeah,
than have to
finesse.
deal with the bear. I could
Yeah,
finesse
you
the
can
man and
definitely
get
finesse him,
away.
right? Yeah. And there's also a good probability he's a good guy.
And there's a good chance he's a good guy and I don't have to finesse. I
Yeah.
might want to stay.
You guys had a romantic setting, you know. in the
Yeah.
forest.
We're already in the
It's just
wilderness.
like- we just fell in love.
Seeing the stars.
The bear passed by, didn't even bother.
Might find a cabin, you know,
Fine.
try to survive.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Make some future bears, in the
Yeah.
cabin. But thank you so much. Interesting conversation, ladies. Shout out to you guys one more time. Thank you so much. We had a good conversation. Should men and women strive to be irreplaceable and not to get replaced? Definitely go back and rewatch the podcast. Don't forget, we do this every single Saturday. We always have a new topic. Thank you so much. All the donations. Thank you so much. And don't forget, if you want to join this virtually, become a supported member of my locals or jump on my Wednesday, my Thursday shows, which are more virtual, and you can be part of the conversation. I do always want to encourage the guys on the live chat, especially the men on the live chat. I know a lot of you guys always talk your ish on the live chat, but I do encourage you to work on your communication skills and have the confidence to talk to women. So jump on virtually and do that. All right. So I do encourage you guys out there. But nevertheless, we had a great show, great panel. We had some good discussion back and forth. Make sure you like and subscribe. You go notified next time we go live. And we have a different topic in the panel. But everybody, you guys all have a great night. Peace, y'all.
Bye.
Peace. All right.
Oh my God.
Yo, y'all.